Chapter 1409. Roar. I will tear you apart. He moved. Even though he knew he wasn't Lin Ray's opponent, he had insulted his clan and even knew about the existence of his clan. Just this alone was enough to make him want to kill. Especially when he was still in his territory, flying in the sky and breaking his rules. This was even more intolerable. Come, let me see if the power of the bloodthirsty sensory perception is as powerful as the legends say. Raising his hand, he conjured a seal. Beams of sword light instantly shot out from the seal, heading straight for bloodthirsty perception. Their speed was as fast as lightning, yet also as fleeting as a glimpse of a fleeting moment. Poochie. The sound of flesh being pierced echoed. The sword lights collided with the bloodthirsty sensory perception's body. The sharpness of the sword lights caught him off guard. However, to him, this didn't affect him at all. At this moment, he only had one thought. That was to kill this person who insulted him. Insulting a member of his clan. Therefore, he couldn't tolerate the existence of such a person. Die. Finally, after being washed by thousands of sword lights, he arrived in front of Lin Ray. He raised his tentacle and slapped down on Lin Ray's head. That speed, that strength. If it was the previous Lin Ray, he might not be able to do anything. However, the current Lin Ray didn't even put this in his eyes. Insignificant skill. Do you really think my sword lights only have this little effect? Ignoring the tentacle slapping down on his head, Jiang Chen said. What? Seeing that Lin Ray didn't make a move, the bloodthirsty sensory perception was confused. However, just as he was wondering what Lin Ray was doing, a heart-wrenching pain emerged from his body. Like a surging wave, it surged over and didn't give the bloodthirsty sensory perception any chance to react. PFFF. PFFF. Kacha. The sound of blood spurting out and bones cracking could be heard. Seeing the bloodthirsty sensory perception turning into a little bloody person, Lin Ray didn't stop his actions. Transformation. Lin Ray's hand seals were formed, and mysterious runes that he couldn't understand emerged one after another. In the next moment, Lin Ray's body began to change. Time passed, bit by bit. Slowly, another bloodthirsty synesthesia appeared. And this was the transmogrification that Linley had spoken of. I'll throw it. That's awesome. Staring at the bloodthirsty synesthesia created by the system, Linley was stupefied. He couldn't tell at all that the bloodthirsty synesthesia created by the system was the same person. Instead, he felt like he was a monstrous beast through and through. You, who are you? Enduring the pain, he looked at Lin Ray's bloodthirsty perception in front of him. A hint of disbelief flashed across his eyes. He couldn't accept this. You'll find out soon enough. After saying that, it raised its tentacles, just like what bloodthirsty perception had done before. It was aimed at bloodthirsty's head. On the other side, another tentacle attacked bloodthirsty's other body parts. Bastard, you. Bloodthirsty perception panicked when he saw the tentacles that were attacking him. Boom. Plop. Two tentacles landed solidly on bloodthirsty perception's body. Not a single one missed. Ah. Pain, hatred, malevolence. At this moment, countless expressions appeared on bloodthirsty perception's ugly face. Are you in pain? Are you in despair? Lin Ray spoke. His eyes were filled with coldness. Didn't you attack me like king before? What about now? Do you still want to attack me? Provocation, a dejected provocation. Isn't this a joke? The current him was already thanking the heavens and earth for being able to leave. How would he dare to attack? What a joke. Alright, I don't want to waste any more time here. Give me 3 drops of your blood essence and this matter will be settled. Otherwise, this place will be your burial ground. Give me your blood essence or die. Choose for yourself. Bloodthirsty perception hesitated. Indeed, he would be able to live if he gave away his blood essence. However, his bloodline was so precious. If he gave it away, wouldn't it be the same as sullying his bloodline? Can you change your condition? Bloodthirsty Perception asked in a low voice. Emin? Looking at Bloodthirsty Perception, Lin Ray's face flashed with displeasure. He was somewhat angry at Bloodthirsty Perception's words. Originally, he didn't want to choose. Now, he actually wanted to change his condition? What a joke. Raising his hand, Lin Ray didn't force it. A terrifying aura flashed around him. A pressure similar to the Great Tao appeared in the vicinity of the blood pool. Great Tao. Great Tao pressure? How is this possible? How do you know such a technique? As a demonic beast that had survived since the Great Desolate Era, he was very clear about the Great Tao. However, he didn't understand how a human could have such a powerful cultivation. Furthermore, the Great Tao pressure that was displayed just now. This wasn't something that a human could display. Ignoring Bloodthirsty Perception, he continued to increase the strength in his hand. The Great Tao pressure in the surroundings became denser and denser. In the end, Bloodthirsty Perception was pressed to the ground by the Great Tao pressure. His entire body was like a dead dog. He was in a very sorry state. The wounds on his body were especially horrifying. They made it difficult for him to move. His vitality was also dissipating along with the loss of blood. Heavenly policy. Damn it. When Linley, who was in the deity sea, heard the word swastika from the heavenly policy, he immediately thought of the martial gods treatise. He now suspected that the martial gods treatise might be a copy of the heavenly policy. This was the power and pressure that the martial god strategy should have originally possessed. However, he didn't have time to think about this. He opened his eyes and stared at the scene in front of him. He wanted to see how powerful the heavenly policy was. The Great Tao pressure was extremely dense. With a raise of his hand, the Chaos Dragon Spear appeared in Lin Ray's hand. A terrifying aura condensed at the tip of the spear. The aura was almost condensed. He raised his hand and rushed towards Bloodthirsty Perception. His speed was so fast that in a flash, Lin Ray's figure appeared in front of Bloodthirsty Perception. The Chaos Dragon Spear that was condensed with the power of the heavenly policy had already wiped out Bloodthirsty Perception's body. You dare. Feeling the rapid loss of vitality in his body, Bloodthirsty Perception was filled with regret. If he had given his blood essence, he wouldn't be in this state right now. Time passed, bit by bit. Only when he saw that the bloodthirsty synesthesia had completely died did the system remove its control, allowing Linley to once again take control of his body. Crack, crack, crack. Huff, huff. He let out a long breath of turbid air. His face revealed a relaxed and happy expression. He strolled in front of Bloodthirsty Perception and reached out to pull out the Chaos Dragon Spear. He kept it in the system space to nourish it. Raising his head, he looked at the huge creature in front of him. His throat moved. Although this fellow was ugly, it was still a huge creature that he couldn't fight against. In a while, I will eat you. Chapter 14:10. Host, you have such a strong taste. Isn't your mother worried about you? The system had no idea how to deal with such a fetish. It even wanted to eat the other party after killing them. Especially with the other party's appearance, it made people lose their appetite. If he was Lin Ray, he would definitely not eat it. Even if the other party's cultivation was so strong, he would not do such a thing. Che. Rolling his eyes, he rolled his eyes and curled his lips. System, this is your ignorance. This bloodthirsty sensory perception can be considered the king of seafood. Especially this purification ability. Who knows, maybe if I eat it, my physical body or cultivation base can break through. Of course, the most important thing was that he wanted to try it out. How delicious was this demonic beast that had existed since ancient times. After saying that, he did not kiss the system. Squatting down, streams of Saint Spirit chi rushed out and turned into knives, starting to deal with the bloodthirsty perception. The scene could be said to be extremely cruel. That bloody scene was too disgusting to look at. You're really something. You really did find this host. Seeing Linley's actions, the system sighed and hurriedly returned to where it was supposed to be. On the other side, Lin Yun and Lin Wanyu were not as relaxed as Lin Rei. They did not have a helper like the system to help them get out of the trap. Just a day ago, the two of them had planned to join forces to break through the array. However, they were too optimistic. Lin Rei did not know that the array was many times more difficult. As long as you wanted to join forces with someone else, it was possible. As long as the two of them could withstand such a terrifying array, it was fine. However, Lin Rei did not say this. The two of them foolishly joined forces, thinking that they would be able to break through the array faster and return faster. But when they actually entered the array, they realized that there was something wrong with the array. But at that time, the two of them were inside the array. It was too late to regret. Coincidentally, the array activated at that moment. For a moment, the two of them joined forces to resist the sword rain. The first-grade Saint array was completely activated. Facing the two of them, it did not feel embarrassed at all. With a raise of its hand, a storm of wind and rain came at them. Kacha kacha. The rain of swords landed on their shields, producing crisp sounds. If one were to look closely, they would be able to see that cracks had appeared on their shields, as if they were about to shatter at any moment. Father, why is this array formation of yours on the same level as the one before? Master, are you trying to murder your disciple? The two of them looked at each other. Their eyes were filled with indescribable bitterness. They were completely helpless against their master. How could they let two sage-level experts face a sage-level array formation? Senior sister, now is not the time to complain. The only thing we can do now is to use the array to fight the array. Lin Yun suddenly interrupted Lin Wanyu. At the same time, these words brought a trace of hope to Lin Wanyu. It was as if a bright light had suddenly appeared in the middle of the night, illuminating the path ahead. Array formation? He looked at Lin Yun with doubt in his eyes. Which one of them knew how to use arrays? In any case, Lin Wanyu did not feel very good about herself. As for Lin Yun, she had never felt that this little brat was actually an array master. He seemed to understand Lin Wanyu's meaning. He smiled and a disc array appeared in his hand. Senior sister, this is the array formation I was talking about. Array formation? Master gave it to you? Looking at the disc array, Lin Wanyu was excited. Perhaps it really could be used. Father left it behind when he left. He just could not bear to use it. As he spoke, he raised his hand and a stream of pure spiritual energy flowed into the disc array. Boom! A loud rumble sounded. The disc array in Lin Yun's hand was activated the moment it received Lin Yun's immense spiritual energy. Rumble. The rumbling sounds were endless. The two people who were originally in the array disappeared. His figure disappeared in an instant. When he reappeared, he was already in another formation. Like I said, how could it not work? Looking at the scene in front of him, Lin Yun was 100% sure that this was the array formation he had just sent out. However, he did not expect it to be like this. This was his first time here. If Lin Rei saw this scene again, he would definitely grab Lin Yun's butt. This array formation had been refined for a long time. In the end, it was given to Lin Yun to save his life. Now that he had taken it out, it was used to fight against time. Damn it! The scenery in the array formation was pleasant. There were mountains and rivers. This was something that Lin Rei had created in the land of the gods. Back then, in order to refine this thing, he had gone to several places to gather the materials. Now, it was used to deal with him. Damn, this place is an array formation? Lin Wanyu exclaimed. It should be. This is also my first time here, said Lin Yun. Master is biased. No matter what, I am his eldest disciple. Why didn't he give me something like this? Lin Wanyu said with an aggrieved look. Lin Yun was stunned. That's enough, senior sister. In the end, Lin Yun could not bear it and interrupted Lin Wanyu. Now that we're safe, let's look for a way to break the array formation outside. As he spoke, he waved his hand and a bamboo slip appeared. Lin Yun sat on the ground and began to read it. Although it looked simple, it contained the Xuanzong Sect secrets, cultivation techniques, and other miscellaneous notes. All right. Although she wanted to slack off, seeing how hard Lin Yun was working, she did not want to continue. In the end, she could only sit down and read. On the other side, Lin Rei had dealt with the bloodthirsty perception. After a few days, Lin Rei finally captured a 300-meter-long demonic beast. It was going to be his meal in the future. Phew. After doing all this, Lin Yun let out a long breath and sat on the ground with an indescribable sense of relief. It's time to continue. If the demonic beasts outside are so powerful, then what about the ones inside? Looking at the few exchange points he had left, he was really afraid that this trip would expose him. What are you thinking? The system suddenly said. Host, the system is not a vampire. Moreover, do you think seizing is so easy? What do you mean? To be precise, your physical body is too weak. With your current body, it will take at least 2 times before seizing you a second time. So, don't worry. Your exchange points will not become the system's for the time being. Lin Rei was speechless. Lin Rei did not want to say anything to the system. However, he was vexed by the fact that it would take 2 times before seizing him a second time. Chapter 14:11. Weak. It had been a long time since Linley had heard the word weak. Most likely, he would only hear this word from the system. After all, Linley acknowledged the system's strength. However, that might not be the case with his mouth. Oh right, system. As if he had thought of something, he said, about the construction of the sect in the first-grade sect. How do I build it? How do I upgrade the sect? The rookie sect master that the system was referring to was barely qualified, so he was unhappy. I'm an Earth Sage Realm powerhouse. Don't make it sound like I'm trash. Back to the topic, the system stopped mocking Lin Rei and said in a serious tone, have you thought about the construction of the sect? Nonsense. He rolled his eyes and continued, the cultivation of the sect's disciples is too weak now. If they want to establish themselves in the holy world, they need a place to train. Although he wanted to send the entire Xuanzong sect over, after this guy's teleportation, he understood that if he wanted to send all the disciples of the Xuanzong sect over, he would need a lot of exchange points. Although he had a little more than 100 million on him, it was not enough to teleport everyone in the Xuanzong sect. Therefore, he could only put some effort into the construction of the sect. As for this place, he naturally wouldn't give it up. When he had the money, he would send the disciples back bit by bit. The system naturally knew what Lin Rei was thinking. It couldn't help but feel gratified. You should have thought of this long ago. Your little bit of exchange points isn't even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. The system wasn't stingy at all. It was used to mocking Lin Rei. F***ck, will you die if you don't mock me? Although he was unhappy with the system's words, he had to admit that it made sense. Alright, let's cut the crap and start your performance. Give me some recommendations. What do I need the most? No, what do the mysterious sect's disciples need the most to build their sect? The system fell silent. Lin Rei didn't have any combat power. Since the road ahead was going to be difficult, it was better to find something to do here. Time slowly passed. Just as Lin Rei was feeling bored to death, a screen suddenly appeared. One by one, the templates appeared in front of him, allowing him to choose. The sword cleansing pool can wash away the dust and dirt, allowing one to possess a sword body and rapidly increase one's sword Dao cultivation. The Devil Refinement region is a place for devil cultivators to practice. In the devil refinement region, a devil cultivator's cultivation speed can be increased by 5 times. Body Tempering Mountain, as the name suggests, trains a cultivator's physique. Currently, it can only reach the eternal stage. Of course, if the host continues to improve, the Body Tempering Mountain will reach even higher levels, even reaching the peak of Tao. Lin Rei had the urge to buy them all as he looked at the construction of the sects that would make anyone's eyes red with envy. This is too awesome. If I had these things back then, would I be in such a sorry state, running here and there in search of cultivation resources? Of course, he knew that this was impossible. Hey, you brat, don't say that first. Take a look and see what their prices are. The system said. Price? He couldn't help but have a bad feeling. That's right, he was too focused on looking at the items just now and didn't see the prices. When he looked down, his eyes widened and his mouth opened wide, as if he had just eaten a monster. F***ck, are you kidding me? Linley cried out in shock. His entire being was filled with shock and disbelief, and he was unable to regain his composure for a long time. The cheapest Body Tempering Mountain was more than 100 million. As for the others, looking at the string of numbers, Lin Rei felt like he had been F***ked. Come, system, come out. I promise I won't beat you to death. Linley was speechless. This was too expensive. With all the money he had on him, he could only afford a single Body Tempering Mountain if he added it all up. Thinking about it, endless sorrow welled up in his heart. After so many years, he didn't have any money at all. The host can choose not to buy. This transaction is for resources. Take it or leave it. Lin Rei, this service attitude, I'm the owner of the system. Is it really okay for you to be like this? Of course, he couldn't say this out loud. But in his heart, the system was very strong. He was conflicted, incomparably conflicted. More than 100 million. This made him want to bang his head against the wall. F***ck, forget it. As the saying goes, Tendo rewards diligence. I don't believe that an inanimate object can stop me. Thinking about it, he gritted his teeth and nodded. I'll buy Body Tempering Mountain. Ding, okay, I'll immediately process the purchase for the host. The system responded very quickly, as if it had been waiting for a long time and knew that Lin Rei had already bought it. Regarding this, Lin Rei completely lost his temper. Saying that he was a vampire? At this moment, the system was showing the true nature of a vampire. In the end, Lin Rei had no choice but to compromise. At this moment, he needed these things very much. In a sect, it was useless for him to be strong alone. In the face of a strong enemy, it was difficult for two fists to have a fourth move. If it was a strong sect, everyone in the sect could intimidate an area, then it would be different. And Lin Rei wanted to be a sect like this. This was also the shortcoming that he realized after the system's reminder. Ding, purchase completed. Purchase successful. 120 million exchange points will be automatically deducted. Host, please check for yourself after the transaction. Ding, purchase of Body Tempering Mountain successful. Where would the host like to place it in the sect? Please check. As soon as the system finished speaking, the entire Xuanzong sect appeared in front of him. Damn, what did they do after I left? Looking at the Xuanzong sect's increase in area, he was momentarily speechless. Sometimes, the Xuanzong sect could be said to be a small place, but now it had become a form. Ding, please confirm the location of the sect. I, the buyer, am not in a hurry, but you, the seller, are very anxious. Thinking of this, his eyes scanned every place on the plan. After looking and thinking, his eyes finally fell on a mountain peak next to the Xuanzong sect's secret realm. Hey, not bad, it's quiet here. Here it is. Pointing at the original location, he responded. Ding, the host has set the original location and is in the process of binding. The binding time is 24 hours. Please check at any time. Wow, you can't be serious. Hearing that it was 24 hours, Lin Ray was speechless. He thought that it would take shape immediately, but he didn't expect that it would take time to load. This was disgusting. After all, he had spent more than 100 million exchange points to get it. This didn't have the ability to take shape instantly? Ding, please be careful with your words. Before the construction is completed, if the host has any slanderous words, the construction of the system will be automatically retracted. Pfft. He vomited. This function really gave Lin Ray a stab. Too shameless. Chapter 14:12. Since he couldn't do anything to the system, the matter would be left unsettled. He wouldn't be so foolish as to speak rashly and let the construction of the sect, which he had spent more than 100 million exchange points on, go down the drain. Anyone who wasn't a fool would do that, especially when dealing with a cunning old fox like the system. Lin Ray was waiting in the death zone. At this moment, in the deepest part of the Xuanzong sect in Chu Yuan Valley, there was a rumbling sound. Because the Xuanzong sect had recovered its territory, the Xuanzong sect had become a little bloated. Coupled with the sudden disappearance of the sect leader, all the disciples and elders were in seclusion. With the sudden rumbling sound, the disciples and elders in seclusion instantly woke up from their cultivation. Rumble. After the rumbling sound, the earth shook and the mountains shook. At this moment, everyone thought that someone was attacking the sect. However, when they released their divine senses to investigate the situation, they were all dumbfounded. Originally, there was an inconspicuous mountain next to the arcane realm in the deepest part of the Xuanzong sect. But now, the mountain was rising. Yes, that's right, it was rising. And it was rising at a speed visible to the naked eye. This scene made everyone lose the mood to continue their seclusion. Just like that, the seclusion failed. Everyone came out of seclusion and flocked to the mountain. At this moment, there were a few figures in front of the mountain. Looking at the figures, everyone quickly bowed and said, "Greetings, Madam Sect Leader and Elders." At this moment, the first to arrive were naturally Ying and Bing, who were in the arcane realm, followed by Red Lotus and the other elders. Looking at the people behind them, Ying and the others nodded slightly. Then, they focused their attention on the rising mountain. Their eyes were indescribably solemn. "Sister, what's going on?" "I just checked, but I didn't find anything," Bing said. For all the saints, this kind of checking at the lowest level was a walk in the park. But now, Bing didn't find anything. It was as if this thing had suddenly appeared. But it did seem to be rising suddenly. It was just that the speed of its rise was a little too fast. The mountain was taller than all the other mountains in the Xuanzong sect. Even so, the speed at which the mountain was rising did not slow down. It seemed as if it was still rising. At this moment, everyone had no choice but to take it seriously. Whether the sudden appearance of this thing was a blessing or a curse was still unknown. "All of you, return to your residences and leave this place. Hurry." She did not dare to be careless. Behind her was her husband, Lin Ray, who had protected everything. Therefore, she naturally had to protect him as well. That's right. Hong Lian and the others agreed. They turned around and gave out orders one after another. The originally crowded place instantly became deserted. "Everyone, guard this place with me. If a battle breaks out, we will strive to get the Xuanzong sect disciples to leave. As elders of the Xuanzong sect, we will naturally take the lead. It's my duty. It's my duty." Everyone spoke in unison. Their eyes were filled with determination as if they were prepared to die. Ying was very pleased with everyone's answer. He looked at each other and nodded. Then, he sat down cross-legged in the air and raised his hand. A huge barrier appeared. Swoosh swoosh, the rest of the people sat down around the mountain. They released their cultivation and supported the barrier, isolating the mountain from the outside world. Even though they had done all this, Ying and the others were still worried. The appearance of this thing was too sudden, and they were a little unprepared. At this moment, Ruo Lin Rei would definitely be dumbfounded if he were here. He did not expect that his actions would make the Xuanzong sect a strong enemy and uneasy. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had come out of the death zone, was lying on the ground with his legs crossed. He had a piece of grass in his mouth and was humming a tune. He was very uncomfortable. I wonder what the situation in the Xuanzong sect is like now. He was very curious to see what the Xuanzong sect would do after the sudden appearance of this thing. Yes. The system's voice suddenly sounded. When the body forging mountain is completed, the host's divine sense will be able to connect to the mountain and release a projection. At that time, you will be able to see the Xuanzong sect and the people you have not seen in a long time. Really? Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei was a little doubtful. Why did it say whatever he wanted? Thinking of the number of times the system had tricked him in the past, for a moment, he did not believe the system. The system was connected to Lin Rei's mind, so naturally, it could feel Lin Rei's thoughts. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Anyway, after 24 hours, you will know. So, I don't need to explain more here. After saying that, the system's voice disappeared. At this moment, Lin Rei was not calm. The system's words made Lin Rei believe it. Maybe it really can. Bing, and everyone else, are you okay? In the depths of the Xuanzong sect. At this moment, and the others were not very good, because they did not know that the barrier could not prevent the height of the mountain from increasing. Kacha kacha. The cracking sound was like a hammer, ruthlessly pounding on everyone's hearts. Looking at the cracks on the barrier, Bing said, "What should we do? The barrier is going to break soon." Everyone looked at each other speechlessly. They had no choice. The barrier just now had used up all their strength. As such, the strength of the mountain exceeded everyone's strength and cultivation. Sigh. There's no other way. Now, we can only take one step at a time. Facing this thing, was helpless and powerless. She could not figure out how this thing appeared, and there was no sign of it at all. Are we going to let it continue to grow like this? Bing was anxious. The speed of the mountain's growth was too fast. If it continued to grow, the secret territory beside it might be affected or even destroyed. Madam, the power of this mountain is too strong. Its cultivation has exceeded everyone's. We are no match for it. Yes, madam, this thing is too strange. It suddenly appeared and is so strong. We are really helpless. Hearing this, everyone nodded, and their eyes flashed with helplessness. This was the first time they felt that they were not strong enough since they had become Earth Saints. It was the same feeling they had when more than 10 sects had besieged the Xuanzong sect. Everyone, let's wait for a while more. If it doesn't work, we can only look for another place. Although this place was found by my husband, I believe he would not want to see us lose our sect's disciples. So, is this the only way? Bing lowered his head, and his teary eyes made him look very pitiful. If Lin Rei was here, he would definitely be heartbroken. Then, it's decided. Red Lotus will inform us later. We will try to stop it. Now, this is the only way. Red Lotus got up and kowtowed to Ing. Yes, madam. I will not let you down. Just like that, everyone decided. Chapter 14-13. The people of the Xuanzong sect were in full swing, but Lin Rei knew nothing about it. He, on the other hand, was waiting for the time to come for the construction of the sect. He was able to see his disciples, and most importantly, his wife and children. This was what he wanted to see the most. Time was like a donkey. It would not move if you let it, but it would always move backwards. You hoped that time would pass faster, but time was not on your side. When you stopped looking, when you stopped thinking, in the blink of an eye, 24 hours had passed and the sect had disappeared. The time for the construction of the sect finally passed while Lin Rei was waiting in boredom. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the first sect construction. The system has rewarded the host with a chance to draw a lottery. Please make good use of it. Lin Ray was speechless. Lin Ray did not really care about the lottery given by the system. With his previous actions, the lottery was dispensable to him. Alright, let's hurry up. Lin Ray was impatient. Ding. Sect construction completed. The host is connected to the Xuanzong Sect's body forging mountain through the teleportation portal. Ding. Teleportation portal activated. The host has not transmigrated once. The reward is 500,000 redemption points. Please make good use of it. Ding. Since the host has completed the construction of the system for the first time, the host has obtained a free teleportation portal. Ding. Teleportation portal. Yes or no? F***CK, isn't this nonsense? Which idiot wouldn't choose this? As he thought about it, a smile appeared on his face. He said softly, yes, of course it is. The system said, what a hypocrite. Shameless. Lin Ray was speechless. What else could he say? Wasn't it just a little perverted? Was there a need to be like this? Of course, at this moment, he did not care too much about it. Let's start quickly. I can't wait. Lin Ray urged. TSK, you brat. Lin Ray's current appearance did not look like an Earth Saint cultivator at all. He could not help but shake his head and sigh. Alright, close your eyes. When you wake up again, you will be on the body forging mountain of the Xuanzong Sect. Oh, right. As if he had thought of something, he reminded him, the duration of this teleportation is fixed. You can only stay in the body tempering mountain of the Xuanzong Sect for 12 hours. Once the 12 hours are up, you will return to your original body and wait for the next teleportation. Lin Ray could see through the nature of the system's pitfalls. There was nothing he could do, and he couldn't retort unless he wanted to be punished by the system. He nodded and replied, alright, since that's the case, let's hurry up and teleport. It's only 12 hours, what can we do? Heh, it's already not bad that you have it. You're still being picky over there. Seriously. After saying that, a suction force emerged. 12 hours should be enough. After saying that, the system disappeared. Lin Ray's aura underwent a subtle change. He couldn't describe it, but he felt that it was a little different. In the Xuanzong Sect, when Ying and the others were about to make their move, a bright light suddenly appeared on the quiet mountain. F***CK, that's pretty cool. Looking at the changes on the mountain, everyone's faces turned serious. They activated their ultimate skills and were ready to make a move at any time. Children, your dearest sect leader, I'm back. A very shameless voice emerged from the front. Sect leader? Master? At this moment, Ying and the others who heard Lin Ray's voice were stunned on the spot. They were stunned and puzzled. Sister, did you hear that? It seems to be our husband. Ice asked Ying in disbelief. Ming, young master, is back? Kagang, is young master back? Second senior brother, it seems to be master's voice. Did you hear it? At this moment, the Xuanzong Sect members were puzzled. They weren't very sure if the voice just now was what they thought it was. Thinking of the information they had on Lin Ray's whereabouts and the Xuanzong Sect disciples who were still investigating the East Sea, they found it hard to believe. Sect leader is back. Just as everyone was in a daze, a sudden voice sounded. They saw a Xuanzong Sect disciple pointing at the sky above the mountain. Lin Ray's figure appeared in the form of a semi-transparent shadow. He looked down at Ying and the others with a smile on his face. His eyes were full of tenderness. Young master. As he spoke, he looked in the direction the disciple was pointing. Suddenly, Lin Ray's figure appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Young master. Sect leader. Husband. At this moment, everyone was sure that the voice just now had come from their sect leader, their young master, and their husband. However, they also noticed Lin Rei's current state. Ing was the first to recover. She looked up and said with a longing expression, "Husband, you." At this moment, everyone came back to their senses. That's right, everyone knew Lin Rei's figure. Sect leader, what happened to you? After Ing mentioned Lin Rei's state, everyone panicked and had a bad premonition. We'll talk about it later. Time is limited. Let's put it simply. He only had 12 hours. He didn't want to waste time on this nonsense. Everyone stood solemnly and looked at Lin Rei with dignified expressions. At this moment, the entire Xuanzong sect was silent. As you can see, this mountain that suddenly appeared is my gift to all of you. Gift? Looking at the mountain in front of them that was about to kill them, and now hearing the word gift, they had the urge to beat someone up. That's right. This is a good thing. It can help all the disciples of the Xuanzong sect improve their cultivation. Of course, it's only limited to their physical bodies. Everyone didn't speak. They quietly listened to Lin Rei's speech. The body-tempering mountain can be cultivated to the point of immortality. So, children, work hard. This will be the foundation of our Xuanzong sect in the future. Oh, right. This thing seems to have started. It can't be stopped. You can only come out if you break through the level you entered. Remember. If you have a playful attitude, then, you'll die. A cold light flashed in his eyes as he swept his gaze across the crowd. As for the matter of people dying, naturally, Linley had made it up. He had never experienced such a thing before, and didn't know the rules behind it. The reason why he had said such a thing was, to scare them, to make them feel a bit nervous, so that they would be able to complete their body tempering more quickly and with more vigor. However, at this moment, all the disciples' hearts tightened. They were restless and fearful. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, Linley began to laugh. His laughter was very loud, and he stared off into the distance. Little fool, this is something your master would especially recommend. After a while, I want to see the extent of your body tempering mountain. If you don't reach the level I want, hee. You know the consequences. Now, your senior sister should have experienced it. I believe you will like that feeling very much. Chapter 14:14. Shuang Yuan's body trembled. He was one of the best of the younger generation in the sect, but at this moment, he couldn't even stand properly. Looking at the gentle smile on his master's face, Shuang Yuan knew that the next few days would be tough, tiring, and sad. It might even be like what his master said. I will die. Hee, you brat. Shuang Yuan's current appearance amused Lin Rei. He wanted to tease him, but now it seemed that he really scared him. Husband, look at you. You're talking about this the moment you come back. Ing was unhappy. She glanced at Lin Rei and walked towards Shuang Yuan. Shao, don't listen to your master. He's always like this. You've been with him for so many years. Don't you know his personality? That's right. Shuang Yuan suddenly realized. However, there were no absolutes in this world. Didn't he mention Lin Wanyu before? Master. Shuang Yuan bowed to Lin Rei. You mentioned Lin Wanyu just now. Where is she? Is she okay now? Lin Rei didn't answer Shuang Yuan's question. He waved his hand and an image appeared in front of everyone. A woman in ragged clothes was sitting cross-legged on the ground. She was staring blankly in front of her. In the realm of death, they might be able to see the existence of the formation. However, in the image, they couldn't see through it. After all, Lin Rei's formation skills were at the Saint realm. Master, Shuang Yuan panicked when he saw the beautiful woman on the screen. Especially when he saw Lin Wanyu's appearance. He's in the underworld. I've set up countless spell formations there. This is a test and training for her. Husband, you don't. I've already decided, so. Before Ing could finish, Lin Rei stopped her. Enough. He didn't want to waste time talking nonsense. He waved his hand and the body-tempering mountain appeared in front of all the disciples and elders of the Xuanzong sect. This is the body-tempering mountain. All disciples, seal your cultivation. Start from the very beginning of the body-tempering realm. Cultivate bit by bit. Trust me, this will only help you go further in your cultivation in the future. So, open. He formed a seal with his hands and an ancient talisman flew toward the body-tempering mountain. Boom! Under everyone's gazes, the symbol landed on the mountain. In an instant, a thunderous boom was heard, followed by a light that pierced through the clouds. The body-honing mountain was huge. Although it didn't look like much on the surface, there was nothing special about it. After all, anything created by the system had to be of the highest quality. Looking at the people of the Xuanzong sect below, his expression softened as he said, "What I'm giving you now is only the cultivation levels from the body-forging stage to the Mahayana realm. Don't let me down." Swoosh. A black shadow flashed by, and by the time everyone reacted, the black shadow had already disappeared without a trace. "Heh, this little girl." The others could say that they didn't see it, but Lin Rei, who appeared in the air as an image, saw it very clearly. Other than Little Four, who else could it be? However, after thinking about it, her brother Lin Xuanyuan's cultivation was getting stronger and stronger, but she was still at the half-step Zun realm. Especially when she saw Lin Wanyu's appearance, although she was scared, she did not regret it. At this moment, in Lin Yuro's heart, all the pain was nothing. All that was left in her heart was power. With power, she could have everything. With power, she could protect the people she wanted to protect. Lin Rei didn't care about Little Four, because he knew that even if he went, it wouldn't help. In his heart, he had originally wanted Little Four to be a happy, carefree little girl. When she had nothing to do, she would take care of flowers, concoct pills, or train. But in the end, things didn't turn out as Linley had expected. Little Four had worked hard, step by step, from a little beggar to her current position and power. All of this could not escape the result of her own efforts. Forget it. Let him be. Thinking about it, he smiled bitterly and shook his head. His gaze was distant, as if saying, "Why aren't you going in yet?" Immediately, I will go in immediately." Looking at his master's urging eyes, Shi Yuan felt a wave of bitterness in his heart. He turned around, and with a flash, he disappeared from everyone's sight. That's more like it. Distant disappeared. In the end, the remaining disciples did not escape from Lin Rei's demonic barrier. Ka Luan, Lin Xianyuan, Chen Guang were all sent in. In the end, Lin Rei did not care about them. However, the remaining disciples did not listen to Linley's urging. They all went to their designated places to train in the body-tempering mountain. Bing's gaze was fixed on the body-tempering mountain. After all, he also needed power. "Sister, why don't we, sister, what you think is exactly what I think." The two of them smiled at each other and walked into the mountain. Lin Rei, who was high up in the sky, did not react in time. By the time he tried to stop them, it was already too late. He bent down and looked at the empty Xian sect. His heart felt like it was about to explode. "Are you serious? I still wanted to chat with the two of you." Looking at the entrance of the mountain, Lin Rei smiled bitterly. He did not expect the ending to be like this. However, it was not bad. After all, they all had their own goals. This was good. Forget it. You guys work hard. I can't fall behind. System, in my current state, can I adjust or improve the sex array? Ding. Yes. That's great. Lin Rei was overjoyed. He was just asking casually. He did not expect it to actually work. But, you can't be serious. The smile on his face collapsed in an instant. Yeah, how could I be so stupid to believe that the system would let me do this for free? He looked up at the Xuanzong sect and said firmly, "Tell me, how many exchange points?" system, Lin Ray looked like he wanted to rip it off. He was really asking for a beating. 100 years of life in exchange for the system to improve the Sect's array by 1 level. Life? 100 years? You sure it's 100 years and not 1,000,000 years? Lin Ray thought he heard wrong. After all, at his level, not to mention 100 years, even 1,000,000 years was something he could get at any time. Why, 100 years is not enough? If that's the case, 1,000,000 years it is. After all, the system respects the host's choice. Then forget about it. Lin Ray waved his hand. Since the system had already decided, there was no need to say anything else. Otherwise, even he would not be able to take 1,000,000 years. Humph. The system completely ignored Linley's actions. Ding. Do you want to draw 100 years of life to improve the Sect's array? Chapter 14-15. Yes. Needless to say, Lin Ray would not let go of this rare opportunity when the system showed mercy. Moreover, he was using this method to upgrade the Sect's formation. It was considered heaven-defying. Of course, the most important thing was that he could not stay in this state for too long. Soon, he would disappear and return to the Letian's secret realm. When that time came, he would not know how long it would be before he returned. Time passed slowly. As the system extracted 100 years of Lin Ray's lifespan, the entire Xuanzong sect was shrouded in a fog. At this moment, the Xuanzong sect's protective formation began to be upgraded. He retracted his consciousness from the Xuanzong sect and looked at the body-tempering mountain. A gentle look flashed across his eyes. I came in a hurry and did not have time to catch up with you before you entered. I don't know how long it will be before we meet again. I hope that by that time, your cultivation will have reached a level where you can protect yourselves. Although he did not know why, ever since he returned to the Holy World and returned to the Xuanzong sect, an inexplicable fear rushed out from his heart. If it was a blessing, it would not be a disaster. If it was a disaster, he could not avoid it. Although he did not know where the fear in his heart came from, he would increase his cultivation even faster. He hoped that he could return to the Holy World and return to his family and friends before the danger came. He wanted to protect the sect with his own body. Ding! Just when Lin Ray was worrying about the people of the Xuanzong sect, the system's notification sounded in his mind. Is it time? 24 hours were very fulfilling for mortals. However, for cultivators like him, it was just a fleeting moment. 24 hours have passed. It's time to go back. The system's voice sounded. Go back? To be honest, when he returned to the Xuanzong sect and saw the people of the Xuanzong sect, his wife, and the subordinates who had fought with him, he did not want to return to the Netherworld anymore. In the Netherworld, in the Letian's secret realm, there were dangers everywhere. Even if he was an Earth sage, he did not dare to say that he could definitely return, especially when he had only caused trouble in the first level of the secret realm. Go back. After saying that, before Lin Ray could react, the illusory figure in the air slowly faded until it disappeared without a trace. In the Netherworld, the secluded valley, the Dragon Springs secret realm, and the Letian's secret realm, Lin Ray regained consciousness. His closed eyes slowly opened. When he saw everything before him that he was not familiar with, he sighed faintly. Alas! His fighting spirit exploded at this moment. In order to stay by his wife and children's side for a long time, he needed to have enough power to shake everything. He stared resolutely at the spatial crack at the end of the realm of death. It was also the entrance to the second level of the realm of death. At the same time, it was also the path to the land of death. The road ahead was treacherous, and he didn't know how many dangers there were. The only thing he could do was to charge forward. Only in this way could he obtain what he wanted, power. Not long after Lin Ray left the Xuanzong sect, a figure rushed out from the body-tempering mountain. His gaze locked onto the sky, but when he saw that there was no one in sight, a look of disappointment appeared on his face. Has he left? It was none other than Ing, who had entered the body-tempering mountain. After entering, he chose to leave after breaking through the body-tempering realm because Lin Rei was outside. As for tempering himself in the body-tempering mountain, he could do so at any time. But Lin Rei was different. However, Ing didn't expect that no matter how fast he was, it would be useless in the end. Lin Rei didn't know about this. When he returned to the land of death, he went to where he and Lin Wanyu were. When he saw the two of them working hard and being stubborn, a smile appeared on his face. It looks like they have adapted to this place. As he spoke, he turned around and walked in another direction. Not long after, Lin Rei's figure appeared in the eye of a huge array. When he looked at the array, his smile deepened. Of course, this wasn't set up by Lin Rei. With Lin Rei's current understanding of arrays, it was impossible for him to set up an array of this level. Although the Land of Life has a beautiful name, I can feel that it is filled with death. I don't know how long it will take for me to come back. Maybe. His words came to an abrupt end. Leave this behind. If something happens, this can be considered the last gift I can give to the Xuanzong sect. At some point, a small white jade pagoda appeared in his hand. It was made of white jade and looked very exquisite. There were white jade bell-like ornaments on the outside of the pagoda. You're really generous. You spent a lot of time refining this thing. Moreover, it seems like. The system's voice sounded. You left the first 5 layers of the chaotic heavenly scripture inside? Suddenly, the system's voice rose as if it had seen something inconceivable. No, this is devouring heavenly scripture. Chaotic dragon spear? This is martial god's policy, misty end? Are you crazy? The system was dumbfounded. It originally thought that Lin Rei had only left behind something indisputable. But now, it was completely different. He didn't leave any way out. To put it nicely, it was a magical artifact. To put it bluntly, it was a proper inheritance. Think carefully. Without the chaotic dragon spear, you won't be able to move an inch in the Land of Life. You won't even have a chance to survive. Is that so? Lin Rei smiled and said, I don't think so. Indeed, the system's words were very reasonable. But, he didn't believe that with his combat strength, it was impossible that he wouldn't even have a chance to escape. Of course, even if he couldn't win, he still had the system. As long as he hid in the system when danger came, everything would be fine. It seemed that the system knew what Lin Rei was thinking. According to the theory that the system just found out, it is impossible to enter the system space in the life realm. In the Land of Life, there are always powerful arrays and magical artifacts that seal the space. So, no way. Lin Rei, who was still rejoicing a moment ago, heard the system's words, and his face fell. Causing trouble, it was definitely causing trouble. If he couldn't do that, then after entering, he would definitely be lying dead. The system didn't seem to want to explain. So, take the chaotic dragon spear. At least, there is still a small chance to escape. What do you think? Although the system reminded him, in the end, Lin Rei still didn't listen to the system. The chaotic dragon spear was in the white jade tower, and Lin Rei was in the eye of the burning sky array with the white jade. He turned around and left the burning sky array, and came to the entrance to the second floor of the life realm. Looking at the dark entrance without a trace of light, a chill rose from his feet and spread to the top of his head. Little dragon, your spirit in heaven must bless me. He put his hands together and bowed to the sky. System, let me remind you that the little dragon isn't dead yet. As long as we find a treasure that can restore the power of the little dragon, it is still possible for it to wake up and even completely recover. If you say that, doesn't your heart hurt? Chapter 14:16. Cough, that little dragon shouldn't mind. Right. After comforting himself, Lin Rei did not say anything more to the system. His gaze locked onto the entrance to the second level. He took a deep breath, gritted his teeth, stomped his foot, and charged in. Ha ha ha. A puny earth sage dares to enter the second level of life realm. It seems that a new soul will appear in the second level soon. Humph, nonsense. Do you really think that the second level is the same as here? That any trash can become a soul? That's all you have. Why don't you think about how you ended up in this state? Voices rang out. 6 figures appeared in the air at the spot where Lin Ray disappeared. There were 5 men and 1 woman. On the surface, all of them were handsome men and beautiful women. This was especially so for the woman. She was an existence that could only be admired from afar. Looking at the 3 people, the woman's eyes were filled with disdain as if she looked down on them. Shut up. Everyone, disregarding everything else, the moment the woman spoke, the space suddenly fell silent. Even the air around her seemed to have stopped moving. What do you know? Looking at them, she said coldly, that brat just now is not simple. Oh. What do you mean? The person who had not spoken until now spoke. His gaze was fixed on the woman as if he wanted to seek an answer. The man's actions were the same as the other's thoughts. At that moment, the woman became the focus of everyone's attention. Hongmeng's sovereign constitution. This constitution hasn't appeared for a long time. I didn't expect to see it in this godforsaken place. Hongmeng's sovereign constitution. The 5 people were dumbfounded by the woman's words, as if they did not understand what she meant. The later generations have actually ended up in this state. Looking at the 5 people, a hint of pity flashed in her eyes. Hongmeng's sovereign constitution is a constitution that seizes the good fortune of the world. Looking at the 5 people, the woman explained. Perhaps because she had stayed here for too long, she had to talk to these people and chat with them. At that moment, the 5 people were like elementary school children. They listened obediently and quietly. Hongmeng's sovereign constitution is an extremely terrifying and powerful existence. What is the most powerful constitution of your later generations? I know. The red-robed man hurriedly said, in my impression, the strongest physique is the Great Tao physique. It's a type of physique that's almost close to the Great Tao. From birth, they're favored by the heavens and earth. Their cultivation results are twice as fast with half the effort. Even their comprehension of the Tao and Dharma is 100 times better than the top geniuses. Great Tao physique? I didn't expect that the later generations would be so desolate. Even that trash physique could become the strongest physique. The woman clearly didn't expect the desolation of the later generations. Everyone, hearing the woman's words, the crowd felt helpless. Although they didn't know who the woman was, they knew very well that the woman's strength far surpassed theirs. It was so much so that even if the 5 of them joined forces, they might not necessarily be able to defeat her. They didn't respond, not because they didn't want to, but because they didn't know how to respond to the woman's words. At this moment, the 5 of them admitted that they had fallen behind. The actions of the 5 people made the woman unable to continue mocking them. She then turned her attention to Lin Ray. The Great Tao physiques you know of are weak to the extreme in my generation. As for the Hongmeng Paragon physique, in my generation, it was the number 1, and perhaps even the most powerful. When the Paragon physique appears, Hongmeng appears. When Hongmeng appears, the world moves. As long as the Hongmeng Paragon physique appeared, the entire cultivation world would fall into a frenzy of war, for no other reason than to obtain the Hongmeng Paragon physique. Why? Is this physique really as powerful as you say? If that's the case, why haven't we heard of it before? Even some ancient books didn't mention it at all? Yes. The crowd nodded. In response to the crowd's questions, the woman shook her head. I'm not sure. However, in my generation, it was indeed so. I've long known that in the Hongmeng Paragon physique, it's very easy to cultivate the 3000 Great Tao to perfection. Of course, this can only be done after it's activated. In addition to cultivating the 3000 Great Tao, the Paragon physique can also see the past, present, and future, and even time itself. Even the cultivation techniques are associated with the paragon physique. Hiss. Then, no. The woman shook her head. Although that kid's physique is powerful, I can feel that he hasn't started yet. Perhaps it can be said that he hasn't really activated it yet. However, in the district, you've already activated it a little. At the very least, it's enough for you to cultivate some great Tao. Yes, corresponding to your current cultivation realm, you should be able to cultivate to the immortal realm. As for the later realms, you'll need to activate the Hongmeng Paragon physique again before you can continue cultivating. And this is the drawback of the Hongmeng Paragon physique. It requires too many heavenly treasures to activate it. That kid just now can be considered a genius for being able to activate it. As for the later realms, I'm afraid that it will require more than 100 times more power than before to activate it. Although this explanation didn't specify how powerful the Hongmeng Paragon physique was, in their hearts, Lin Rei's physique was already on their minds. If Ruo Lin Lei was here, he would be so shocked that his jaw would drop. One must know that in order to cultivate the power of law, he had suffered a lot. Put away your unrealistic thoughts. A cold light flashed in her eyes, and she warned, the blood of the Hongmeng Paragon physique is very powerful. Just a little bit of it can destroy you. If you want to leave this damned place, the only thing you can rely on is that young man just now. Everyone, in the face of the woman's mockery and warning, everyone was speechless. They were already cursing her in their hearts. In the pitch-black space, Lin Rei appeared. He released his divine sense, as if to check his surroundings. However, he was disappointed. Apart from the pitch-black darkness, there was only darkness and endless cold. Hiss, no way, even with my physique, I can feel the cold. What the hell is this place? Feeling the bone-piercing cold wind around him, Lin Rei thought that he was hallucinating. However, that was the truth. Troublemaker, who the hell doesn't want this? Ask him to come out. I promise I won't kill him. Although he was venting, his body was telling the truth. He took a step forward and walked forward. He originally wanted to enter the second level, but there was no prompt from the system. This meant that he was still in the space crack between the first and second levels. Woo! Just as Lin Rei was walking in the darkness, a shocking roar emerged from all directions and rushed into Lin Rei's ears. Damn, what the hell is going on? He looked around and his body tensed up, as if he was ready to fight. Host, be careful. Judging from the sound just now should be the roar of the Kaming beast. Chapter 14-17. Lin Rei was stunned and confused. He was familiar with the name Kaming beast. When he was still a mortal, he was on planet Aqua Blue. However, those memories were so long ago that they were a little blurry now. Kaming beast? Kaming beasts are a kind of self-proclaimed divine lord. They are so powerful, especially the Kaming beasts. They are disdainful of their own kind, as if they feel ashamed to be their own kind. Because of this, their race does not ally with other races. Therefore, there are very few Kaming beasts left. They are almost extinct. As it spoke, the system did not understand. Why would this almost extinct race of beasts be here? Then, Lin Rei was worried. He did not have a suitable weapon now. More importantly, the system's evaluation of the Kaming beasts was too high. Seeing Lin Rei's hesitation, the system continued, Kaming beasts usually will not attack you. Why? Lin Rei did not understand. The system does not need to say more about the host's strength. The Kaming beasts call themselves divine lords, so they are naturally proud and arrogant. They are not interested in you, a human with such low cultivation. Lin Rei, at this moment, Lin Li finally understood what the system was trying to say. So after all this time, the system was looking down on his level of power. He rolled his eyes and almost fainted. System, will you die if you don't talk like that? Ding. Corrected one thing. Lin Rei, the system has no signs of life, so there is no question of whether it is dead or alive. At most, the system will shut down because there is no energy, so, next time, don't ask such a stupid question. It will lower your IQ and also lower the system's ability to choose a host. Thank you. The system's words left Linley completely speechless. He had nothing to say. What else could he say? That Motherf asterisk cur had completely shut him up. A woo. A beast's roar suddenly interrupted Lin Rei's conversation with the system. At this moment, Lin Rei was stunned. Judging from the sound, the Kaming beast seemed to be slowly approaching. The carefree look in his eyes disappeared and was replaced with vigilance. He looked in the direction of the beast roar and tensed up. His body was in a combat state, ready to fight at any time. Impossible, the Kaming beast wouldn't want to kill you. The system was puzzled. Based on its understanding of Kaming beasts, they would never lower themselves. But, after scanning the area, there were indeed a few Kaming beasts rushing towards Lin Rei. Can you explain? Lin Rei didn't care about the system's error. When his life was in danger, everything was no longer a problem. This. The system hesitated. It could not give a reasonable explanation. After all, this was the truth. Get out of here. Get out of here as fast as you can. That's the only way. Oh right, hurry up and rush to the second floor. It will be much better to enter the second floor. Hearing this, Lin Rei vomited immediately. But without hesitation, he turned around and rushed away as fast as he could. Although he didn't know what was in front of him, it was much safer than staying where he was. A woo. Just as Lin Rei left, 6 huge creatures appeared. There were 9 heads and each had a human face. Although they weren't good-looking, the aura they emitted was suffocating. Ruo Lin would be shocked if he felt the aura from the Kaming beast. Gradually, this aura was not something he could resist. Big brother, what's going on? I felt the presence of a stranger just now. Why is he gone now? Yes. Big brother. Although the stranger just now was not strong, he must not be simple to be able to make us feel his presence. No, no. The other Kaming beast hurriedly shook its head, as if it understood very well. Although the person just now is young and his cultivation is not strong, have you ever thought that this is the only path to the second floor? Why do you think he came here? Perhaps, you've been here for so many years that you've forgotten? You mean? Beast, who had been following at the back, seemed to have thought of something. For a long time, shoo. Seeing that his companion was about to speak, the Kaming beast who was called Big Brother hurriedly stopped him. You can't say it. If that old fellow knows that you are talking about it like this, in the end, not only will you be the unlucky one, you will also implicate us. At that time, the gains will not make up for the losses, and it will be too late. Everyone, indeed, when faced with the beautiful figure in their minds, their huge bodies involuntarily trembled, and their faces were filled with helplessness. I didn't expect that so many people would be alarmed this time. You, cough cough. Host, you have to be careful. This place is different from other places. You have to be cautious, cautious, and cautious, otherwise. Lin Rei did not know. If he knew, he would definitely understand that the beautiful figure that appeared in the Kaming beast's mind was none other than the Death Realm's soul that appeared after Lin Rei left the first floor. When the Supreme Body appears, Hongmeng appears. When Hongmeng appears, the world will be shaken. As long as the Supreme Body of Hongmeng appears, the entire cultivation world will be plunged into a frenzy of war, for no other reason than to obtain the Supreme Body of Hongmeng. Why? Is this body really as powerful as you said? If that's the case, why have we never heard of it before? Even some ancient books did not mention it at all? Yes. Everyone nodded. In response to everyone's questions, the woman shook her head. I'm not sure. However, in my generation, it was indeed so. In the Supreme Body of Hongmeng, it's very easy to cultivate the 3,000 Great Tao to perfection. Of course, this can only be done after the opening. Other than that, the supreme body of Hongmeng can also see the past, present, and future, and even time itself. Even the cultivation techniques are associated with the supreme body of Hongmeng. As the main character, Lin Rei was very miserable at this moment. He was speeding all the way, and finally, under the system's reminder, he stopped. As for the situation behind him, he did not care about it. As for the other things, they were even more unimportant. System, where is the exit? I finally found this place. It seems to be an endless loop, and it's difficult to get in and out. Oh whoa, host, I think you have, system, this is. He understood that the voice came from the Kaming beast's mouth, but his heart still had a trace of trepidation. No, no. It seemed like, host, quickly leave this place. If you don't want to live, of course, you can also stay here. The system could be said to be constantly criticizing Lin Rei. Regarding this, Lin Rei helplessly shook his head and ignored it. Now that his life was at stake, how could he pay attention to the system's words? What a joke, he really had to leave here. Chapter 14:18. Time passed quickly while Lin Rei was on the run. After an unknown amount of time, the system finally rang out again. This time, he could finally relax. Don't worry. The Kaming beast is still chasing after us. We can rest for a while and think about what to do next. Linley fell into deep thought. The system's words forced Linley to reflect on himself. Previously, if he had listened to the system's advice, perhaps he wouldn't be in such a sorry state now. But then again, there were benefits to doing so. With Lin Rei's current state, he had two choices if he wanted to level up. First, he needed a huge amount of energy to devour. Because the chaotic heaven scroll did not have any barriers to cultivation and there was no heavenly tribulation, he needed energy to level up. It was easy but also difficult. Second, he could struggle on the edge of life and death. Only then could he quickly improve his knowledge and his body's quality and his physique. Given the two choices, Lin Rei was even more speechless. He was very clear about the two choices. At the same time, he also knew that in his current state, he was hovering on the edge of life and death. As for the difficulty, in this situation, nothing else mattered. Ding! Notification, an unknown object is approaching the host quickly. Host, do you want to check it out? Damn it, what's going on? He had just sat down to cultivate when he heard the notification. He jumped up and looked in the direction of the notification. At the same time, he released his divine sense, as if he wanted to check the other party's presence. However, the current world was very cruel. In the face of divine sense, the end result was nothing. Why? As if it knew what Lin Rei was going to say, the system did not give him any face and directly retorted. Don't waste your energy. It seemed to have predicted Lin Rei's words. Only a seamless connection? The person who is coming is either stronger than you, so strong that you can't sense it. Or, the other party has a treasure that can block your divine sense. However, the system still advises the host to put down his unrealistic fantasies and face reality. The other party's cultivation is too strong for you to fight against. So, a sound broke through the air. In the blink of an eye, a red-robed man reeking of blood appeared. System, scan the person in front of me. Ding. Okay. Ding. System beginning scan, please wait. Time passed. Finally, a screen appeared in front of Lin Rei. What? Lin Rei let out a cry of surprise. As for the people around him, Lin Rei didn't pay any attention to them. His eyes were filled with shock. On the screen, Shui Mao was a member of the Azura race. The Azura race. Lin Li couldn't be more familiar with this name. What the hell, was this a joke? The Azura tribe had been founded by Elder Styx, and the most important thing was why there were still Azuras here. When he had first obtained Blood One and the others, the results he had learned were completely different from what he had learned now. After obtaining Shui Yi and the others, Lin Rei learned that they were the only remaining members of the Azura race. But now, the Azura race had reappeared here. This made Lin Rei somewhat unable to react. Or rather, it could be said that this had completely exceeded the scope of his imagination. If there was a Kaming beast here, he would have tolerated it. However, why would the Shura clan, such a mysterious and powerful race, be here? Moreover, according to the system, the Shura clan here was very powerful, so powerful that even he was no match for them. This was completely beyond the scope of his current control. This was something he had to think about. Originally, he only wanted to enter the second layer of the life realm. But now, instead of entering the life realm, he was stuck in the spatial crack between the first layer and the second layer of the fog. This made him feel extremely disgusted. When he came back to his senses and looked at the man in front of him, Lin Rei felt as if he had returned to the time when he was weak. He felt as if he had returned to the time when he hadn't obtained the system. When he was trampled on, bullied, and at the mercy of others, he had been too weak. Who was it? Who dared to hurt him? When he looked up, he saw a fat man with a big head and big ears. It's you? You hurt him? When Lin Rei saw the fat man, he already recognized him. It was Lin Ergu, who had killed his predecessor with one slap. Oh, isn't this our great genius, young master? You're not dead yet. Heh. When Lin Rei heard Lin Ergu's words, the corners of his mouth naturally curled up. He revealed an expression as if he was looking at an idiot. But from the beginning to the end, Lin Rei's eyes revealed a callous and ice-cold look. Lin Ergu had originally wanted to tease and humiliate Linli, but when he saw the look in Linli's eyes, Lin Ergu couldn't help but take a step back. What's going on? When did this brat's gaze become so terrifying? Also, his temperament has changed. It's only been a few days since we last met. But when he saw Linli's level of power, that foot, which had been forced to take a step backwards in fright, came back to him. Humph, little bastard, it seems like the lesson I taught you a few days ago was in vain. Since that's the case, I'll let you know my rules today. Come. Beat me up. After hearing Lin Ergu's words, the people who had followed him rushed up and threw a punch at Lin Rei, who was lying on the bed. Humph. A group of dogs who don't care about their lives. I think you've forgotten the family's rules. You're just insignificant servants, yet you dare to offend your superiors. Don't tell me you don't want to live anymore. Do you really think that I, the second young master of the family, am someone you can beat up whenever you want? Right now, Lin Rei's mood was the same as when he was bullied by a small ant. Facing these people who didn't even fight back, he felt like he had returned to the time when he was bullied in the Lin family. Humph, Lin Rei, stop pretending. Who in the entire Lin province doesn't know that you're just a concubine's son? The most important thing is that when you were born, the head of the family found someone to test your talent. In the end, the result was that you didn't have the qualifications to cultivate. The head of the family has long since given up on you. Now you want to use your status to suppress me? Do you think that's possible? Looking at the man, Lin Rei increasingly felt that his current strength was too weak. It was the same as when he had first met Lin Ergu. He hoped that he didn't have any power that he could use. In front of this brain, he was like a child who couldn't fight back. Right now, the only thing Lin Rei could do was to compromise and think of a way to survive. As the saying goes, a real man should know when to yield and when to stand tall. He didn't care what others thought of him. He only cared about whether he could survive because he still had to protect his family, wife, children, and the entire Xuanzong sect. Who are you? Chapter 14-19. Azura Tribe? Although he knew who Shui Mao was, he was not stupid enough to say it out loud. At this moment, Lin Rei was acting like an award-winning actor. He looked at Shui Mao cautiously and suspiciously, as if saying, I don't know you, don't come over. It had to be said that Shui Mao was a little cruel. He was the one who asked first, but now he was the one who took the initiative. You, human? Impossible. How could there be a human in this place? Anne. Shui Mao looked at Lin Rei with disdain. This guy. How could Lin Rei not know what Shui Mao meant? However, Lin Rei did not say anything. He waited quietly for Shui Mao's reply. Tell me, why are you here? And judging by your cultivation, you shouldn't be able to come here. With a whoosh, Shui Mao's body flashed and disappeared from the spot at a speed that Lin Rei could not see. Tell me, who are you? Do you know that you have violated the territory of the Azura tribe? Shui Mao reached out and grabbed Lin Rei by the neck with a force that Lin Rei could not resist. Shui Mao lifted Lin Rei up. Cough cough. A terrifying amount of energy flowed from Linley's neck into his entire body. In the instant that he was restrained, Linley could sense that his cultivation base and his interspatial ring had all been sealed away. He no longer obeyed his master's will at all. This happened too quickly. Lin Rei did not have time to react before he lost the ability to fight back. He was like a dog that was being toyed around with. Linley was very unhappy about this. The Kaming tribe? Just as Shui Mao subdued Lin Rei, a few powerful auras rushed over. Shui Mao was very familiar with these auras and hated them. You bastard, speaking of which, in this place, the clan that he did not want to encounter the most was the Kaming Beast clan. Although his status was a top-notch existence, the other party was not inferior either. They had all survived from the same era. Moreover, the other party cultivated the Tao of Slaughter, which was the same as his clan. If they were to really fight, it was still unknown who would emerge victorious. More importantly, at this moment, he was only one person, while the other party had at least 5 people. This kind of gap was not something that could be made up for by strength. He lowered his head and looked at Lin Rei. He could sense that the Kaming beasts had come for this guy, and he just happened to be the scapegoat, or perhaps a helper. Cough cough. If Shui Mao could feel it, so could Lin Rei. In response, Lin Rei sneered. What do you think? In the ancient era, your Azura clan was in charge of the Azura realm and the Netherworld's Blood Sea. Now, facing the Kaming beast, are you going to fight or not, or, the ancient era has passed, and your Azura clan is just struggling at death's door? Have you cowered? Have you lost your courage? There was a wolf in front and a tiger behind. Now, he could only provoke Shui Mao to fight against the Kaming beast. Even if he ended up in the Azura clan's hands, with the 36 Azura clan elders in his hands as a bargaining chip, he believed that the other party would not do anything excessive to him. In fact, he might even learn about this place and everything about the second layer of life realm from the other party. Although he did not want to, he had no choice. In this place, they were enemies with the Kaming beast. If the other party saw him alone outside, there was no need to think about what would happen in the end. Moreover, there was a human here. This made them even more crazy. Just you wait. Once it's safe, I'll kill you. With that, he waved his hand and threw Lin Rei to the side. A blood-red barrier enveloped him. Huff huff. After escaping from Shui Mao's control, Lin Rei let out a long sigh of relief. His flushed face recovered quite a bit. Whoosh whoosh, a few sounds came from the distance. Shui Mao and Lin Rei looked into the distance with serious gazes. They saw a few beasts rushing over from the distance. In the end, they landed not far away from Lin Rei and Shui Mao. Oh, Shui Mao? The leader of the Kaming beasts spoke in human language. When he looked at Shui Mao, there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. Zhu Tian, you have violated the agreement. This is the territory of the Azura clan. Are you trying to start a war between the two clans? Lin Rei, this guy. Lin Rei felt helpless against Shui Mao. As a member of the Azura clan, Did he have to be so slow? As the old saying goes, if you can fight, don't force it. What the hell are you doing? Fight? Shui Mao did not know what Lin Rei was thinking. The Caming beasts were even more confused. At this moment, both sides were confronting each other. They seemed to be coveting what Shui Mao said. Boss, I think we should save the two of them here. With our advantage in numbers, even if we kill him, I believe the Azura clan will not be able to find any evidence. They will not do anything to us. That's right, boss. Let's kill him. This Shui Mao has inherited most of Mingyi's memories. Maybe we can get Mingyi's blood god extinction from him. Yes, I agree, Zhu Tian, who was still hesitating, heard his companion's words. For a moment, his hesitation was stirred. Boss, let's do it. If we don't do it and they know that we are here, there will only be one result. Everyone looked at each other and nodded. All right, if that's the case, then, let's do it. Since they had decided, they did not leave. They raised their front paws and slapped at Shui Mao. Boom boom, they were all sages above Tendo. It was normal for them to cause a phenomenon when they fought. Streaks of lightning flashed in the dark clouds. The thunder exploded in everyone's ears. Fortunately, there were no low-level cultivators here. Otherwise, bastard. In front of Lin Rei, he used his body to block Lin Rei. Bang! A muffled sound rang out, and a figure was sent flying. As for the Caming beast that attacked, it didn't have a good time either. Its whole body trembled, but it was normal for it to retreat. There was even a trace of blood at the corner of its mouth, which was very eye-catching. Bastard, your cultivation. The Caming beasts could not believe that it was true. He was defeated in one move. Moreover, the things he ordered just now were a bit expensive. In a moment, hurry up and run. Run as far as you can. Shui Mao's voice appeared in his mind. However, his tone was a bit strange. Seeing Shui Mao's you-know-what-I-mean expression, Linley was dumbfounded. How the hell was he supposed to know? But he knew how to run. Especially when it came to running by himself, leisurely and quietly. The blood-red energy barrier that trapped Lin Rei disappeared the moment Shui Mao asked Lin Rei to leave. In response, Lin Rei, who had regained his freedom, rushed in a direction. Humph, want to run? Do you think you can run? Fantasy zone, open. No one would have thought that the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Just when Lin Rei was about to escape, a Caming beast appeared out of nowhere. A beam of light rushed out from its mouth and rushed into Lin Rei's body. Everything happened. However, at this moment, a mysterious force was born in his body. Finally, Lin Rei's body went soft and he lay on the ground. Little dragon, what you said at that time was indeed a lie. However, this is also good. If you don't remember me, then so be it. Now that things have come to this, there is nothing left to worry about. Lin Rei walked out of the cave and muttered to himself. His eyes were empty and lifeless. Looking up at the sky, Lin Rei felt as if he had lost something in his heart. In the cold night wind, Lin Li stood there in his thin clothes, allowing the cold wind to blow against him. That head of silver hair of his was very dazzling. Why do I feel so sad? At this moment, looking at Lin Rei walking out as if he had lost his soul, Red Lotus's heart clenched. She had never experienced such a feeling before. Could it be that I really lost my memory and something happened between me and this kid? After feeling this, Red Lotus recalled what Lin Rei had said before. For a moment, she was puzzled. However, no matter how she thought about it, she could not remember what had happened. In the end, she simply chose to forget about it. Just as Red Lotus and Lin Rei were in a dilemma, Elder Xiong, who had left, returned with a person. This person had a dignified aura that made people feel stifled. Junior brother, is this the place where you said there was an Earth Immortal Realm cultivator? At this moment, the person who was brought back by Elder Xiong looked at the black forest in front of him with eyes full of disbelief. Senior brother sect leader, there is no mistake. At that time, the aura was very strong. Even you did not have such an aura. Moreover, I could feel that it was the aura of someone who had just awakened. However, what I don't understand is how someone on this sealed planet could break through to the Earth immortal realm. This does not make sense. The sect leader that Elder Xiong referred to was Zhao Pan of the Kunlun sect, who was also Lin Rei's greatest enemy. Yes, this is also what I am puzzled about. When the revered one sent us here, he did not have the ability to let us out. Furthermore, he observed that on this planet, at most, one could cultivate until the peak of the Mahayana realm. It would be impossible to break through until the end of one's life. Therefore, after hearing your report, I was also very surprised. Yes, not bad. Soon, these formations will all be broken. Then, all the secrets will be revealed. Elder Xiong looked at the progress of breaking the formations, then turned to Zhao Pan and said, I hope so. I hope it's not an enemy. Otherwise. After hearing his junior brother's words, Zhao Pan's face turned solemn as he looked at the black forest. It wasn't just Lin Rei and Zhao Pan. As soon as the news of the resurrection of the Red Lotus Empress in the Red Lotus Empire spread out, all the cultivators in the profound sky continent were mobilized to search for the revived Red Lotus. The world was in chaos and the people had no way of making a living. Some cultivators even attacked mortals in order to find Red Lotus's whereabouts. As for the culprit behind all of this, Red Lotus, when she thought of the conditions Linley had agreed to, she was momentarily stunned. Bring me out of this sealed planet? Could it be? At this thought, Red Lotus couldn't remain calm anymore. Her originally cold expression turned blazing. She gazed at Lin Rei, who was at the entrance of the cave, and darted to Lin Rei's side. She grabbed Lin Rei's arm and said agitatedly, You. Can you really bring me out of this planet? You're not lying to me? At this moment, Red Lotus was like a little girl who wanted to get an answer. The eagerness in her eyes made one have the urge to go up and confide in her. That's right. This is what I promised you, and it's also what I owe you. This is the final compensation. I don't want to say anything else. If you don't want to, I'll use other methods to compensate you. Cultivation methods, pills, formations, martial skills, whatever you want, I'll give you. However, after this matter, we'll completely break up, and we won't have any more interactions in the future. Looking at Red Lotus, Lin Rei said everything that needed to be said. Then, he slapped Red Lotus's hand away, turned around, and walked toward the elves. Red Lotus was stunned and her eyes were filled with disbelief. Can we really leave? Red Lotus was very excited. When she was alive, she had fantasized many times about being able to leave this planet that restricted her. However, until her death, she was unable to do so. She did not expect that a teenager would promise her that he would bring her out of this planet before he left. How big of a piece of news was this? After leaving, Lin Rei adjusted his state of mind and returned to the elves' tribe. Because he wanted to save Red Lotus, he did not pass on Katarama's order. In his mind, Lin Rei was speechless. It's an illusion again. It's so rare that the illusion hasn't stopped since you came here. However, to Lin Rei's surprise, the protagonist of the illusion changed from his close relative to Red Lotus. Although the woman that he loved and hated had returned to his side, when he thought of how he left so heartlessly, he no longer had the same feelings and emotions as before. Forget it. Why am I thinking so much? After realizing that he was in an illusion, Linley broke free from it. However, because his cultivation level was too low, even though he broke free, he didn't leave the illusion. System, hurry up and come out. Don't kill me. System, there was no reply. Lin Rei did not give up. The only thing that could help him now was the system. He could not rely on anyone else, especially Xuemu. System, don't think that I don't know what you're trying to do. Let me tell you, if I die, I won't be able to complete your mission. Tisk, but that's good too. Although Lin Yun and the others are not invincible, they can at least protect themselves. Ding. When the notification sounded, Lin Ray laughed. Humph, you're still too inexperienced to be messing with me. The host has two choices. The first is to buy a high-grade item that can break the illusion from the system store. Hearing this, Lin Ray frowned. Although he had some assets now, he was not that extravagant. Then, what about the second choice? I can help you with the second choice, but you have to promise not to challenge the second level of the life realm. You don't have that ability now. Also, don't forget what your mission is. You've been here for too long. It's time to leave. Chapter 1420. Lin Ray was speechless. Lin Li was silent. He didn't say anything. His starry eyes stared into the distance, as though he was thinking about something. Go back. This is not a place where you should be. You have your mission. You can't stay here forever. Seeing that Lin Ray was silent, the system did not stop and continued to persuade him. Now, the Kaming Beast clan had appeared. Even the extinct Shura clan had appeared. Who knew what would happen next? Although he was confident that he could protect his host, this was not what he wanted. It was not what he should do. Do I have to do this? Suddenly, Lin Ray spoke. His eyes were filled with unwillingness. He did not want to give up. But now, the choice was placed in front of him. He had no choice but to give up. No matter which choice he chose, he needed to be strong. Yes. The decision is up to you. But I have to remind you that we have not reached the second level yet. If we are talking about the exchange points, no one knows what will happen next. We don't even know how much we will have to spend. Do what you can. Don't try to be brave. You have to understand where you stand. Don't be ignorant of reality. Boom. The system's words were like a heavy hammer hitting Lin Ray's heart. Indeed, during this period of time, he was not aware of reality. He thought that he could pass through, but he did not expect that he would almost die on the first level. Now, on the second level, he could not even fight back against Shui Mao of the Shura clan, a heaven saint. This was a serious blow to his self-esteem. Moreover, the most important thing was what the system had said. He had to complete the mission that he was supposed to complete, and not waste his time here. Time passed, bit by bit. The illusions continued, but the images began to change, to the point where Lin Li found it somewhat unbearable. It was no longer a memory of the past. It was a massacre. The entire Xuanzong sect. All the disciples, family members, wives, children, old and young were being slaughtered in front of him. He could not do anything about it. Ah! Bastard, stop it. Roars, pain, unwillingness, anger. At this moment, complex emotions surged into his heart. How could he bear it? As someone who was determined to protect his family and friends, watching them get slaughtered was a kind of torture and pain. This is the price. You won't be able to increase your strength. In this situation, you won't be able to fight back. Will you just watch those people slaughter the Xuanzong sect and do nothing? Don't worry, you'll come back here. It's just a matter of time. His eyes, which were originally filled with rage and bloodthirst, regained their clarity and color. He looked up at the sky, closed his eyes, and sighed deeply. He nodded and said, "Let's do it." You're right. It's time to go back. Actually, I should have gone back a long time ago, but I wanted to find the bloodline grass for little tiger, so I didn't go back. Hee, this will be the best decision you've ever made. Lin Ray replied. The system laughed. Relax, it's exactly the same. I will take over your body. Look clearly, what is the suppression of absolute strength? What is the absolute powerhouse? Lin Rei understood what the system meant. His body relaxed, and a wave of energy entered his body. In an instant, the control of his body no longer belonged to him. He had encountered such a situation before, so he wasn't too surprised or frightened by it. Boom! Just as the system took over his body, a wave of terrifying energy emerged. A wave of purple energy began to flow through all the major meridians in his body. Slowly, his entire body transformed into that sort of power, a power that caused Linley's heart to tremble. At first, just a tiny bit of it caused Linley to sigh at his inferiority. Is this the absolute strength that the system mentioned? It's really powerful. With a sigh, he fixed his gaze in front of him. Although his body had lost control, his soul could still see everything. Move, Lin Rei, who was controlled by the system, moved. He raised his hand, and a wave of purple energy appeared. He waved it towards the space in front of him. Whoosh! A sword ray left Lin Rei's hand and disappeared as fast as lightning. Finally, it fell on the barrier of the fantasy zone in the distance. Bang! A resonating sound was heard. Rumble. In the outside world, the Caming beasts, who were fighting fiercely with Shui Mao, heard the resonating sound and the vibration of the space under their feet. For a moment, everyone stopped fighting and looked in the direction of Lin Rei. Looking in that direction, Shui Mao's eyes flashed. He remembered clearly that that place was the direction Lin Rei had left. Impossible. The Caming beast, who was fighting against Shui Mao, seemed to have noticed something. His face turned pale instantly, and he looked in the distance with disbelief. What's wrong? From their point of view, he knew how powerful C's fantasy zone was. He didn't expect that C's fantasy zone would be broken. C, what are you doing? Fourth brother, what's wrong with you? For a moment, all the Caming beasts started to ask C. They didn't understand why the fearless C was acting so strange today. C didn't seem to hear their questions. His eyes were filled with fear as he muttered, impossible. The fantasy zone can't be broken. It's impossible. How is it possible? How can a person with only the cultivation of an earth sage do it? Although he could sense it, he still couldn't believe that his fantasy zone was broken. After he had cultivated the system's fantasy zone, no one could break it, including himself. This trick was unsolvable. Ha! You're too naive. Just when everyone was thinking otherwise, a clear voice came from behind them. Hiss, they had all heard this voice before. It was very familiar, especially C from the Caming beast. How? C trembled when he heard this voice. He turned around excitedly. The moment he turned around, he saw Lin Rei, who was standing proudly in the air not far away. Thump. 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 His huge body couldn't help but take a few steps back. His eyes were filled with fear. It's broken. He really broke the fantasy zone. But, how is this possible? How can you break the fantasy zone? Why are you unharmed? Why are you, shut up? Before he could say anything, Lin Rei scolded him. C immediately shut his mouth and looked at him in horror. It was as if none of this was supposed to happen. At this moment, not only C, but everyone's eyes were focused on Lin Rei. They couldn't believe it, just like C. Facing everyone's expressions, Lin Rei didn't explain too much. The system was too lazy to explain. It fixed its eyes on C and narrowed them. A murderous aura flashed across its eyes. I'll give you two choices. First, become my mount. I'll give you supreme glory in the future. 2, die right now. Not only you, but they will also die. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you. The secretaries of your clan are of no use to me. As long as I am willing, all of you can forget about reincarnating or borrowing my body to be reborn. The moment you were killed by me, your lives were cut off. So, what's your choice? Caming beast, Shui Mao, although they didn't understand how Linley had managed to break through the illusory field. To have them become someone else's mount or subordinate was worse than death. What's more, you're just a human. How did you know about the Caming Beast clan? Moreover, you, swoosh. Bam! Before Zhu Tian could finish his words, a ray of light rushed out from Lin Rei's hand and appeared in front of Zhu Tian in an instant, crushing him. Plop! Zhu Tian's body was sent flying. 1,000 meters away, Zhu Tian fell to the ground in a sorry state. A terrifying sword wound appeared on his chest. Blood kept flowing out. He was on the verge of death, as if he would die at any moment. Hiss! At this moment, everyone couldn't help but reevaluate the young man in front of them. His hand was broken. With just a casual attack, he sent the Caming Beast, who had the best energy cultivation, flying without any chance to fight back. Dao integration stage? No, impossible. You were just an Earth Sage before. How could you be so powerful? Shui Mao was also dumbfounded. He recalled that he had subdued Lin Fan before. If Lin Fan wanted to kill him now, then, he wouldn't have given him any chance. F***CK, what the F***CK is going on? Shui Mao was speechless. In Shui Mao's mind, Lin Rei had become a fool who pretended to be a pig to eat a tiger. He was so powerful, but he had to pretend to be a coward. Was this what experts like to do? Shameless. Shui Mao muttered in his heart. He lowered his head and didn't say anything. He waited quietly at the side, waiting for Lin Rei to punish him. Escape? What a joke. With Lin Fan's cultivation, he didn't even notice him when he appeared. Escape, where could he escape to? If that was the case, he would die a more painful death if he was caught in the end. Rather than that, he might as well stay here and wait for death to come. It seems like he has already made the decision for you. Looking at the Caming Beasts, Lin Rei narrowed his eyes and snorted coldly. If that's the case, then, prepare to die. Boom! Under everyone's gaze, a blood-red flame rushed out from his hand. Suddenly, the temperature in the air rose. The scorching aura from Lin Rei swept out in all directions. What's going on? This aura is suffocating my soul. This guy, impossible. Why is his flame so powerful? What is it? For a moment, everyone began to question. They couldn't figure out why the person in front of them was so strange. Accept your death. 9 Dragons Division. Boom! The illusory spirit blood flame in Lin Rei's hand instantly split into 9 dragons. The dragon roars continuously came out from the 9 dragons' mouths. We are from the Caming Beast clan. If you dare to attack us, we will use all our strength to hunt you down to the ends of the earth. Are you sure you want to do this? C was dumbfounded. However, thinking about the clan behind him, he quickly calmed down. He believed that even if the other party attacked, they would at most be heavily injured. They wouldn't dare to kill. Of course, this was all just his imagination. Not easy to attack. Of course, if they didn't run into Lin Rei and the system today, they might have to consider the Caming Beast clan's pursuit. But, who told them to run into Lin Rei and the system? As a person who doesn't care about anything, how could he be scared by C's threat? How sad. Sighing, he shook his hand. Instantly, the 9 dragons shot out like arrows. Plop. A blood-red hole appeared on C's chest. Miraculously, no blood flowed out. Instead, the hole was surrounded by the illusory spirit blood flame. It was like maggots attached to the bone. It couldn't be removed. A pain that came from his soul and body instantly spread throughout his body. His huge body fell to the ground and curled up. He looked at the flames that were still spreading in his chest. No. See. This scene happened too quickly. The other caming beasts who wanted to help knew that it was too late. What awaited them was the same method. Swoosh swoosh, just as the other 5 beasts were looking at sea in pain, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Run, run. Behind them, Big Brother Zhu Tian, who was lying on the ground and couldn't get up, saw the remaining flames. For a moment, he seemed to have forgotten his pain. He raised his head and looked at second brother and the others. Puff, as if his movement was too big, his wound tore open. He spat out a mouthful of blood and lay on the ground again. His aura was even weaker than before. It seemed like he could die at any time. This scene fell into the eyes of Xuemu, who was just a bystander. He felt like he was dreaming. It was too unreal. What about you? Suddenly, a cold voice came from afar and entered Xuemu's ears. With a whoosh, Xuemu's body trembled. He turned his head and looked at Lin Rei. At this moment, Lin Rei appeared not far in front of him. As for the battle in the distance, he didn't care at all. It was as if he wasn't needed. Seeing Lin Rei walking towards him step by step, Xuemu felt like his heart was being hammered. I'll give you a chance. Lin Rei interrupted Xuemu. Submit to me, or die. Whether it was Lin Rei or the system, they both liked it. He didn't want to beat around the bush with these nondescript people. Xuemu hesitated. He turned his head and looked at Caming Beast's miserable appearance. His body trembled and he smiled bitterly. Do I have any other choice? Lin Rei, no. Xuemu, as ancient powerhouses, they had their own dignity, especially the Shura clan ruled by Mingi. Seeing that Xuemu still didn't respond, Lin Rei, who was in a conscious state, said, "You don't have to be like this. I want to say that the first 36 Shuras born in the Shura clan are under my command, let alone you." What? The 36 Shuras, which are the first 36 Shuras born in the Shura clan other than Mingi, have already been subdued by me. What are you still hesitating for? No, impossible, they have already died in battle, impossible, Lin Rei, it's up to you to believe it or not. Chapter 14:21. It's the same question as before. What do you choose? This time. I will take action. As he spoke, a cold light flashed in his eyes. Seeing this, Xuemu's body trembled. He knew in his heart that this time, Linli was serious. If he didn't give an answer, then, the result might really happen. He looked at Lin Rei and thought about what Lin Rei had just said. Although he was unwilling, Lin Rei's expression did not betray him. He did not seem to have any reason to lie to him. If that was the case, then, it might really be possible, the 36 elders did not die. They even became Lin Rei's subordinates. If that was the case, then, if he could find them, would the Azura race be able to become a powerful race again? Would they be able to live under the sun again? Would they be able to live a life worse than that of a dog? What do you think? The cold voice sounded again. Xuemu quickly regained his senses. He forced a smile and nodded his stiff head. Senior, I agree to your request. From today onwards, Lin Rei is my master. If I violate this oath, I will die a horrible death. Boom, as soon as he finished speaking, a dull sound exploded in the sky. It was as if the sky was responding to Xuemu's words. Heh, alright, get up. Feeling Tendo's power, the system smiled. Of course, it had guessed that this kind of power would appear. Go and kill them for me. He smiled at the few caming beasts that were still alive. He turned around and looked into the distance. That was the deepest part of this space. The next time I come back, this place will become my backyard. I hope you won't do anything. A cold light flashed in his eyes. He ignored them and turned around to look at Xuemu, who was walking towards the caming beasts. If it was in the past, Linli naturally would not let him go. However, now, there were only 2 caming beasts that were still alive and could continue to fight. Moreover, their combat power had been greatly reduced. Therefore, with Shui Mao's strength, it was more than enough. As expected, the Shura clan were all warlike. When they arrived in front of the caming beasts, their killing intent was obvious. The caming beasts were afraid. Are you crazy? Zhu Tian's voice was trembling and his body was trembling with fear. Are you really going to start a war between the 2 clans because of this person? He doesn't know my identity, but don't tell me you don't. If you are to do it, the entire Azura clan will not be able to live a good life. Furthermore, your family will also be tormented by your foolish decision. Why you're certain of that? Threats. In the face of death, all dignity could be abandoned. As long as one could survive, the so-called face would return. Just like now. However, it was a pity that Zhu Tian did not seem to realize the change in the situation. At this point, Shui Mao could not let any of the caming beasts go. If he let him go like Zhu Tian, then, what Zhu Tian said might really come true. So, if he did not want those things to happen, he had to kill them. Only the dead are the best to keep secrets. A cold light flashed in his eyes. He raised his hand, and a blood-red long saber appeared out of thin air. Then, he quickly rushed toward the heart of the caming beast. Are you crazy? I am, Pucci. The sound of flesh being pierced was heard. The long saber had already pierced through the heart of the caming beast. What was even more terrifying was that a black flame was burning on the long saber. Black soul blazing flame? Impossible. You can't have it. How can you have it? Impossible. Zhu Tian miscalculated. He thought that he could escape this disaster. However, when he saw the black flame on the long saber, he was afraid. This flame was called the Black Soul Blazing Flame. It was a flame that specialized in burning souls. As long as one's soul was burned by this flame, no matter how strong one was, as long as it was not more than 4 levels higher than the user, everything would be burned to ashes. Pucci, you will die a horrible death. Feeling his soul slowly disappearing, Zhu Tian knew that he was going to die today. The decision he hated the most was to chase Lin Rei here. He looked around at his brothers. His eyes were filled with regret. He regretted it. If he could start over, he would not be so stupid. He would definitely stay in the clan. Even though they had come to their senses and realized that it was impossible for them to start all over again, that they had only themselves to blame and blamed the heavens for not helping them, after one was killed, Zhu Tian turned around and looked at the other one. The caming beast knew that it was not going to escape. Instead, it stayed where it was and closed its eyes, waiting for its death. Seeing it like this, Lin Rei smiled. He had killed so many people. However, this was the first time he saw such a situation. Do it. Lin Rei said. Shui Mao nodded. His eyes were cold. His emotionless eyes landed on the last caming beast. His body flashed and he appeared in front of the caming beast. Just like before, he slashed the long saber in his hand at the caming beast. Pucci, finally, the battle was over. The last one was killed by Shui Mao. Everything here was finally over. Alright, you don't have to worry. Looking at Shui Mao, Lin Rei said, I just set up a barrier around this area. As long as it is not an immortal existence, it will not be able to break through it. Is your Shura clan safe now? Really? Shui Mao asked. When he first arrived, he was still thinking about it. He did not expect that Lin Rei would do it for him. That's enough. This is the benefit you'll get from agreeing to become my subordinate. Besides, my 36 subordinates are also from the Azura clan. It is my duty to protect them. Alright. He waved his hand and looked around. Finally, he fixed his eyes on a direction and walked towards it. Hurry up and follow me. Let's leave this place. Shui Mao, who was in joy, came back to his senses. Looking at the direction Lin Rei left, Shui Mao wanted to say something but hesitated. It seemed like he wanted to say something but was afraid to. Seeing that Lin Rei's figure was about to disappear, Shui Mao gritted his teeth and chased after him. Going back the way they came was a piece of cake for the system. Soon, the two of them arrived at the spatial crack that led to the first level. We're finally here. In a while, the control of the body will be returned to you. After that, we should leave this place. Okay, got it. Lin Rei nodded. He understood what the system wanted to say, so. I will leave this place. After all, this place is not something I can break into now. It's good that you understand. That, just as Lin Rei was talking to the system, a very discordant voice sounded. He turned around and looked at the submissive Shui Mao. He frowned and said coldly, "What's the matter?" For some reason, Lin Li's emotionless eyes caused Shui Mao to feel uneasy. That. I can't get out of this place. Huh? Can't get out? Looking at Shui Mao, Lin Rei's eyes were full of doubts. Yes, I can't get out. Shui Mao nodded. Someone set up a formation here. It seems to be specially designed to suppress us. Not only the Shura clan, but even the Kaming Beast and the others can't get out. As long as they were sealed, they can't get out. Hearing this, Lin Rei frowned. He remembered that there had been such a case before and nodded. Relax in a while. I'll take you out of here. This. Will it work? Although he said so, his eyes were closed and his body was relaxed. He didn't resist at all. This guy. With a wry smile, he waved his hand. A pulling force appeared on Shui Mao's body. The next moment, Shui Mao disappeared. When he reappeared, he was in the system. It should be fine now. In the outside world, Lin Rei, who had done all this, clapped his hands and then turned to enter the space crack. Just as Lin Rei thought, in the system, all the power of law in the outside world didn't exist. Just as he thought, he smoothly walked out of the space crack and arrived at the first level of the Death Realm. The familiar scene in front of him made Lin Rei feel a lot more at ease. However, how could it be? In the air, there were several powerful spiritual auras. Lin Rei was stunned and his heart tightened. Come out. He fixed his gaze on a certain place and released his terrifying cultivation. Suddenly, Lin Rei's aura sealed the area within a radius of 10,000 miles. At this moment, in this area, no matter how powerful one's cultivation was, whether it was a human, a god, a demon, or a spiritual body, there would be no place to hide at this moment. What? What's going on? In the air, a voice flashed. The next moment, several figures appeared. Unlike ordinary people, they were all spiritual bodies. Looking at the appearance of these people, Lin Rei was stunned. Then, he came back to his senses. Living souls? You. How did you? Lin Rei's words seemed to have stepped on their little tails. Their expressions changed and they subconsciously took a step back. Their faces were full of vigilance. It shouldn't be. The one who entered before was obviously an Earth Sage cultivator. How long has it been since he entered? This guy's cultivation is so, we can't see through him. What's going on? They didn't dare to be sure that Lin Rei was an enemy or a friend. The aura just now and the person who spoke of their origin was very dangerous. Lin Rei was speechless. Their reaction made Lin Rei speechless. He shook his head helplessly and said, "Don't worry. I'm not interested in you. I just want to ask, are the two little fellows here? Are they okay?" That's right. He was concerned about Lin Wanyu and Lin Yun. As for these living souls, he really didn't care about them. Hearing this, they were stunned. Then, they shook their heads. They are still in the formation you set up. We haven't done anything, so they should be fine. After getting an accurate answer, Lin Rei didn't stay any longer. He withdrew his aura, turned around, and rushed into the distance. Damn, what's with this guy's attitude? Lin Rei's action made them explode. However, when they thought of his strength, they could only endure it in the end. We're the only ones who are easy to talk to. If it was that big sister, I'm afraid, that's right. Why didn't he see that big sister when he came out today? Moreover, that big sister was right. This kid wasn't simple. On the other side, Lin Rei released Xuemu. When he felt the difference from the life realm, Xuemu was extremely excited. After so many years, his only wish was to leave this place. He didn't expect that his wish would come true. Alright, stop fooling around. Lin Rei scolded Xuemu, who was playing like a child. Then, he shot out and ignored him. What he was most worried about now was his son and disciple. Following his memory, he came to a formation. This was the formation that the two of them were in before he left. It's broken. The formation was still there, but there was no one inside. Moreover, the natural treasures inside had also disappeared. It seems that these two little fellows are going to exceed my expectations. A smile appeared on his face. Releasing his spiritual perception, he was able to see everything within a radius of tens of thousands of li. Finally, he caught sight of two people in a formation in the east. Saint Realm. I didn't expect that these two little fellows would both break through while I was away. Lin Rei was shocked. He had to admit that these two little fellows had terrifying aptitudes. How long had it been? Both of them had broken through and entered another realm. Oh, I didn't expect that there would be two small saints here. Xuemu naturally sensed the two of them. Small saints? Glancing at Xuemu, Lin Rei shook his head and said coldly, "Have you ever seen a small saint who broke through to the saint realm after cultivating for 4,000 years? Have you ever seen a small saint who could fight above his level? Or, when they reach the same level as you can give it a try." 4,000 years? Xuemu was shocked. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Not to mention 4,000 years, even 1,000,000 years might not be enough to break through to the saint realm. Why? You don't believe me? Lin Rei smiled. He knew what Xuemu was thinking. Then, he raised his hand and the formation disappeared. What's going on? Lin Yun and Lin Wanyu, who were comprehending the formation, frowned when they sensed the disappearance of the formation. No, this aura is, Father, Master. The two of them turned around at the same time. When they saw who it was, their expressions relaxed. Their faces were brimming with smiles. They were very bright and naive, like children who wanted to know the truth. What's wrong? It's only been a while and you miss me already? Looking at the two of them, Lin Rei smiled. His feet moved and his figure suddenly shot out. When he appeared again, he was already in front of the two of them. Not bad, not bad. Breaking through to the saint realm really didn't disappoint me. Then, he raised his hand and threw out two weapons. This is your reward. Sky Brocade, a saint-grade weapon. It suits you very well. Mixed Dragon Spear, a saint-grade weapon. There's a dragon soul in it. I believe you'll like it. Thank you, Father, Master. Of course, the two of them liked the two weapons. A saint-grade weapon was a rare existence. It was much better than what they used to use. Alright, you'll get used to it. Oh, right. Then, he waved at Xuemu and said, "This is my new subordinate, Xuemu. He's from the Azura clan and a heavenly saint." Chapter 14:22. Freak. After holding it in for a long time, the two of them finally blurted out. They looked at Xuemu with envy. It was already extremely difficult for them to break through to the Dao fruit realm. They didn't even dare to think about becoming a heavenly saint. But Lin Rei went out for a stroll and came back with a heavenly saint subordinate. How could they accept this? But fortunately, this person was their father and master. Otherwise, you brat. Lin Rei didn't understand what the two of them were thinking. He rolled his eyes and shook his head helplessly. I wanted to let you two train here, but it looks like that won't be possible. Lin Yun? Master, the two of them were puzzled. They could sense that there were many more behind this array, but now, we might have to go back. He didn't hide it from the two. After all, they had to go back with him. The two of them were shocked by this answer. Father, didn't you say that you wanted to turn this into a training ground for the sect? Why now? Yes, Master. There are many more here. We didn't manage to break through it. Isn't it a little? He raised his head and looked at the two of them with gratification in his eyes. Don't worry. We will return to this place sooner or later. After all, the most important thing for us is to discover the holy world. Moreover, he turned his head and looked at the second layer of the life realm and said, this place isn't something we can touch with our current strength. As long as you cultivate diligently, you will be able to reach this step even without me. But before that, we have to go and get something. He thought that he might have to stay in the second layer for a long time, but the world made fools of people. No one thought that they would come out even faster after entering. Therefore, he wouldn't be able to use the inheritance here. After all, those things were his foundation. If someone else obtained them, the consequences would be unimaginable. The two of them looked at each other and nodded. Then, they followed Lin Rei to the last array. The four of them were very fast. Soon, Lin Rei arrived at the place where the inheritance was stored. Standing outside the formation, he raised his head and looked at the formation. Suddenly, a suction force appeared in his hand. In the center of the spell formation was a white jade pagoda, which emanated a gentle white light. However, it was at this moment that the white jade pagoda began to move. Whoosh! The white jade pagoda left the eye of the formation and turned into a streak of white light that shot out. Finally, it floated in front of Lin Rei. Father, this is... Lin Wanyu's gaze focused on Lin Rei. This white jade pagoda was too beautiful. It was so beautiful that she couldn't help but be moved. Tower of Babel. He glanced at the two of them and reached out to grab the white jade pagoda. He stroked the pagoda and explained, this is a storage-type artifact that I refined. There is a lot of space inside, and it might even store the laws of time. Most importantly, it contains all of your father's inheritance. Others might not have understood, but the two of them knew just how powerful the item in their father's possession was. If that really was the case, the powerhouses of the saints' world would probably drool over it. Alright, stop drooling. He rolled his eyes and casually tossed the white jade pagoda to him. Take this and comprehend it well. This, Father, He wanted to refuse, but before he could say anything, Linley interrupted him. There is no need for that. Your father still has a lot of these things. Furthermore, if you become stronger, I will also feel proud. He raised his hand and a transparent pearl appeared. He raised his hand and handed it to Lin Wanyu. He said dotingly, since I gave it to Yun, I naturally can't forget about you, Master, although this thing isn't as good as that, it is still very rare for you. As he spoke, he stuffed the pearl into Lin Wanyu's hand and continued, the primal chaos pearl doesn't contain any space. If you can refine the primal chaos pearl inside, your cultivation will definitely skyrocket. Moreover, the purity of your spiritual energy will reach the peak. However, it will be a qualitative leap. Yes, I understand, Master. Lin Wanyu understood Lin Rei's painstaking efforts and no longer refused. She tightly grasped the pearl with unwavering determination in her eyes. Oh, right. He suddenly thought of something and looked at Lin Yun. When we return, give a copy of the devouring heavenly art in the Sky Piercer Tower to your senior sister. She will only be able to devour Primal Chaos Pearl after cultivating this cultivation technique. Lin Yun looked at the Sky Piercer Tower and nodded. I understand, Father. All right, everything here has been settled. It's time for us to leave. Lin Yun led the three of them and flew out. Their speed was astonishing. Soon, they returned the way they came from. Without the obstruction of the ants, everything became much simpler. Aside from the Letian's secret realm, there was a sea of blood before them. This sea of blood was the sea of blood in the Dragon Spring's secret realm. Protect yourselves later. This sea of blood has the ability to devour and corrode. If you accidentally touch it, the consequences will be dire. Lin Rei had no choice but to remind the three of them. Yes. Yes, Master. Shui Mao looked at Lin Rei from behind and hesitated. It seemed like he had something to say. When he noticed Shui Mao's expression, he asked, What's wrong, Shui Mao? Lin Rei stopped when he heard Shui Mao's voice. He turned around and looked at the two of them. If you have something to say, then say it. Why are you dawdling like a girl? Shui Mao was speechless. Although his words weren't pleasant, he still said what he wanted to say. Young master, actually, hurry up. Don't beat around the bush. Linley was getting impatient. This sea of blood might be a part of my sea of blood. I want to reclaim this sea of blood. Are you serious? Lin Rei's eyes lit up. If what Shui Mao said was true, then it would be great. After all, Mingi had cultivated the blood god's incarnation back then. If he had the sea of blood, the blood god's incarnation might reappear in the world. But Shui Mao was in a dilemma. The sea of blood was very special. Ordinary spatial artifacts wouldn't work on it. Understood. Lin Rei's consciousness entered the spatial ring and began to explore. He knew Shui Mao's dilemma very well. After all, he used to be a fan of novels, so he knew the characteristics of the sea of blood very well. Soon, his gaze locked onto a palm-sized golden jade box. Looking at the jade box, Lin Rei smiled. I thought you were useless back then. Now it seems that keeping you alive was a wise choice. Sky-burning jade, a kind of jade. However, this kind of jade isn't afraid of corrosion. It's an excellent vessel to contain the sea of blood. His consciousness left the spatial ring and the sky-burning jade appeared in his hand. He looked at Shui Mao and handed it over. This thing can help you reclaim the sea of blood. This is. As someone who has survived since the Desolate Era, don't tell me you don't know this thing? Lin Rei smiled. No. It's not. This thing, actually still exists. You thought that this thing was already extinct and no longer exists, right? Lin Rei knew that this thing was very rare. Even in the Desolate Era, there were pitifully few of them. But this thing was obtained from the system. The system was not something that could be judged by common sense. Therefore, there were some things that were not very normal. Hurry up. After saying that, he didn't say anything else and waited on the side with the two. After obtaining the sky-burning jade, Shui Mao came to the side and looked at the sea of blood. This sea of blood was his home. With the support of this sea of blood, he believed that breaking through to the Dao integration realm would be just around the corner. As he thought about it, crystal-clear drool flowed down from the corner of his mouth. In the distance, Lin Rei looked at this scene and shook his head helplessly. It was hard to believe that this person was one of the strongest people who had survived since the Desolate Era. Universe Revolution, circulating his cultivation, the sky-burning jade in his hands suddenly rushed out and rose into the air. Suddenly, a suction force appeared and the stagnant sea of blood became restless. As time passed, the originally restless sea of blood began to flow into the sky-burning jade along with the suction force emitted by the sky-burning jade in the form of a meridian. Slowly, the flow became larger and larger. In the end, the meridian expanded into a small stream and rushed into the sky-burning jade. Little by little, the sea of blood shrank. As time passed, the sea of blood became smaller and smaller. In the end, it was completely absorbed by the sky-burning jade. Phew! After the last drop of the sea of blood entered the sky-burning jade, Shuemao let out a long breath and a smile appeared on his face. With a wave of his hand, the sky-burning jade in the air returned to Shuemao's hand. He walked to Lin Rei's side and handed the sky-burning jade in his hand. However, the strong reluctance in his eyes gave Lin Rei a headache. "You can keep it." "What?" Shuemao raised his head and was stunned. "I said, you can keep it. This thing is useless to me. On the contrary, it should be useful for your cultivation. Moreover, when 36 and the others return, I'll get them to impart you with the Azura race's cultivation technique. At that time, the sect will still need you to protect it." After that, he waved his hand at Lin Yun and Lin Xuemu and charged out of the room. Shuemao came back to his senses and looked at the departing Lin Rei with a trace of determination in his eyes. He originally felt uncomfortable about becoming Lin Rei's subordinate, but now, uncomfortable? There was no such thing. What benefits could make him understand that this might be the best decision he had made in his life? "Hey, wait for me." Shuemao wanted to see Lin Rei disappear, so he put away the sky-burning jade and rushed towards Lin Rei. At the exit of the Dragon Spring's secret realm, the spatial tear disappeared. Lin Rei didn't care about it. At this moment, the system was still in charge of Lin Rei's body. Thus, he raised his hand and a terrifying spatial energy appeared. Suddenly, a spatial tear appeared. Although it was different from the previous spatial tears, it was still possible to leave. "Follow me." After saying that, he walked out and the others followed him without hesitation. Huanghui City, the central teleportation zone. Suddenly, a white light appeared and a spatial tear appeared. At this moment, Huanghui City was completely dark. After being taught a lesson by Lin Rei, there were no longer any bullies here. Moreover, who would pay attention to this place in the middle of the night? No one noticed the spatial tear demon's appearance, not even the experts of Huanghui City. Whoosh, a figure walked out of the spatial tear. But when he raised his head and looked around, he was stunned. Whoosh, 3 more people walked out of the spatial tear. But the moment they walked out, the spatial tear behind them disappeared. "Father, where is this?" Lin Yun stepped forward and asked, and the 3 of them looked at the unfamiliar scene before them. That's right, the 4 of them were Lin Rei's group of 4 who came out of the Dragon Spring's secret realm. However, Lin Rei was dumbfounded. Lin Rei didn't reply to Lin Yun's question. He was very familiar with this place. Wasn't this the first place to enter the Netherworld, Huanghui City? But, why did he, could it be, thinking of something, the system's voice suddenly appeared and confirmed Lin Rei's thoughts. "You're right. Because I changed the exit of the spatial tear, you appeared here. How is it? Am I awesome?" Lin Rei was speechless at the system's shameless praise. However, this was good too. It saved him a lot of trouble. "No. Wait, my body." Suddenly, Lin Rei felt that he was the controller of his body again. "Of course I'll give it to you once the matter is settled. Otherwise, do you think I'm willing to stay in your body? Moreover, to be honest, your body is too weak. If not, I can change the exit of the spatial tear to the empty nether world or even any place in the entire empty nether world." Lin Rei didn't reply. He was convinced by the system's ability to boast. "Alright, let's not talk nonsense. Since you're here, let's go back." Outside the capital city of Heavenly King Hong, on a mountain peak, 2 men sat down with smiles on their faces. They seemed to be talking about something. "Fan Jun, now that you've become a cultivator, you have nothing to do with the mortal world. In the future, you won't stay here. So, when the young master returns, follow us back to the holy world." The Holy World? He had heard the term Holy World countless times during this period of time. He was looking forward to it but also hesitant. After all, it was a very unfamiliar place to him. Moreover, he didn't have any friends or family in that place. So, Wang. A white light shot out from Ouyangzhen's chest. Hua. When the white light appeared, Ouyangzhen's body trembled. He stood up abruptly and took out a jade pendant. He circulated his cultivation and the jade pendant was activated. A message was sent out from the jade pendant. Ouyangzhen, we've come out from the netherworld. Wait for us in Hong Tian. I'll meet you soon. Young master is back. The message disappeared. Ouyangzhen smiled. During this period of time, he was almost driven crazy. After all, this place wasn't like the Holy World. Cultivators were everywhere. The only one here was his little disciple. This was probably the so-called lonely and cold situation. Chapter 14:23. Then, does this mean that we will be leaving this place and returning to the Holy World? Fan Jun asked with a lonely expression. The image of a woman appeared in his mind. Fan Jun was reluctant to part with her. It was his first time falling in love with a woman. He did not expect that the ending would be so fruitless. Heh. Ouyangzhen naturally sensed Fan Jun's decline. He also knew what Fan Jun was thinking. However, when he thought of Fan Jun's current status, he nodded. That's right. Young master is back. It's time for us to leave. However, suddenly, he changed the topic and continued, if you have any regrets, you can go and see her. After all, you won't be able to see her again. When you return, the person in your heart will probably be a pile of soil. Go. Don't let yourself have any regrets. Can I? Fan Jun confirmed once again. When he acknowledged Ouyangzhen as his master, he did not think that he would be able to meet Ouyangzhen again. Go. Ouyangzhen nodded. Fan Jun smiled and bowed to Ouyangzhen. Thank you. After that, he turned around and circulated his cultivation. His figure instantly disappeared. In an instant, he had reached the combination realm. That's right. During this period of time, with the help of Ouyangzhen's elixirs and heavenly treasures, Fan Jun went from a noob to a Mahayana realm cultivator. Although this realm was not essential to Ouyangzhen, it was enough to prove Fan Jun's talent. After Fan Jun disappeared, Ouyangzhen shook his head helplessly. This kid is also a romantic. I just don't know how that woman will treat him. He did not know about Aunt Meng's feelings for Fan Jun. However, he knew that she liked Li Jiping. She made the decision just now because she wanted him to settle the final matters of Fan Chen. This would be beneficial to his future cultivation. Otherwise, he would not have let her leave. Of course, more importantly, Fan Jun was very compatible with him. Otherwise, he would not have taught him cultivation. In a courtyard in the north of Hongtian City. Ever since Li Jiping became the emperor, Aunt Meng had left the palace and lived here alone. According to her, now that Hongtian was loyal, there was not much difference whether she was here or not. Perhaps a peaceful life was more suitable for her. Li Jiping originally wanted to stop her, but when he thought about how she had fought alongside him for so many years, he finally agreed to her request and let her go. Fan Jun naturally knew what Aunt Min was thinking. Ever since he had succeeded in his cultivation, his divine sense had been constantly probing Aunt Min's every move. Very quickly, Fan Jun appeared in the air above the courtyard where Auntie Meng was. He stood there proudly and looked down. In the courtyard, a woman was standing in front of a man-made lake. She stared at the lake in a daze, as if she was thinking about something. Alas! Looking at Aunt Meng, Fan Jun sighed. His figure slowly descended and finally landed above the lake. His figure entered Aunt Meng's line of sight. You. Fan Jun. Fan Jun's sudden intrusion caused Auntie Meng's expression to recover. As she looked at this man who had left for many years, her eyes became misty. Is that true? You really came back to see me? Auntie Meng's voice was trembling. Her body was stiff as she looked at the man in front of her. She had thought that he would come back, but she did not expect that he would come back in such a manner. Moreover, Fan Jun's current actions were too strange. He was standing in the air. This was beyond the means of mortals. Auntie Meng, are you well? Looking at this woman, Fan Jun spoke in a gentle tone and a smile appeared on his face. How have you been all these years? Did anyone bully you? Has he been good to you? Him? Hearing this, Auntie Meng was stunned. She immediately understood who Fan Jun was referring to. However, Auntie Meng's expression turned gloomy. She smiled bitterly. Is there a difference? Now, Hong Tian has agreed. All the people are loyal. Old officials like us are not of much use. It is right to withdraw as soon as possible. Why? Fan Jun was stunned. This was not what he had expected. According to his expectations, the old officials who had followed Li Jiping before should be put in an important position. Why? Enough. He waved his hand. Let's not talk about him anymore. Let's go. Come and sit for a while. As he spoke, he turned around and walked toward the pavilion behind him. Great. I haven't tasted your cooking for a long time. Speaking of which, I really miss it. After saying that, he moved and appeared on the shore. He strolled to the pavilion and sat down cross-legged. Walala. Auntie Meng poured a cup of tea for Fan Jun. Since you are back now, you should have left. Fan Jun was speechless. In midair, his hands stopped at his mouth. He did not know what to say. He did not want to leave, but this was impossible. He did not say anything. He just drank the tea in his hand quietly. Tasting this familiar taste, his heart was filled with satisfaction. Seems like it's true. Fan Jun's lack of response confirmed her suspicions. Before Fan Jun had left, she had thought that he was dead. However, some of the black-robed men who had infiltrated her home had been killed for no apparent reason. Other than Fan Jun, she couldn't think of anyone else who would secretly protect her. This world is not inferior to me. Moreover, I promised him that as long as Li Jiping becomes the emperor, I will atone for my sins with my death. Fortunately, he did not kill me. Instead, he gave me a chance to be reborn. As he spoke, he raised his hand toward the lake water beside him. Suddenly, a water dragon soared into the sky and landed in front of Auntie Meng. It surrounded her. This is the power that he gave me. It is a power that transcends the mortal world. My current lifespan can no longer be judged by common sense. Perhaps after 10,000 years, I will still be like this. As soon as he said that, Auntie Meng was stunned. She soon came back to her senses. A smile appeared on her face. However, a hint of loneliness flashed in her eyes. That's good. You have dedicated the first half of your life to Li Jiping. Live the second half of your life happily. As she spoke, she poured another cup of tea for Fan Jun. Then, she stood up and prepared to leave. Wait here. I will go and cook for you. After she spoke, she did not wait for Fan Jun to reject her and left. Looking at Auntie Meng's departing figure, a hint of reluctance flashed in his eyes. After this, it might be goodbye forever. However, before I leave, I still want to fight for it. After all, this place is too dangerous for a woman like you. Outside Hong Tian City, on the mountain peak where Ouyangzhen was, Ouyangzhen, who had been waiting for a long time, finally smiled. Four black figures appeared in the direction of his gaze. Ouyangzhen understood that Lin Rei had returned. Swoosh. A few air-piercing sounds could be heard. A few black figures flashed and landed in front of Ouyangzhen. Young master. Looking at Lin Rei, Ouyangzhen quickly stepped forward and bowed to Lin Rei. His eyes were filled with respect and admiration. Nodding his head, Lin Rei felt a little guilty toward Ouyangzhen. He had made Ouyangzhen wait for him. Where is Fan Jun? Looking around, Lin Rei did not see Fan Jun. At that moment, he asked. Fan Jun. Fan Jun, young master. Suddenly, a voice could be heard from afar. Fan Jun's figure quickly appeared in front of Lin Rei. Plop. Without saying a word, he knelt in front of Lin Rei and pleaded, Young master, I beg you. I want to leave with Aunt Meng. I don't want to be separated from her. Although it was bold, for the sake of his woman, even if he had to die, it did not matter. Fan Jun, what are you doing? Fan Jun's sudden action frightened Ouyangzhen. What the hell is going on? I was kind enough to let you go back and form a bond with the mortal world. Now you're trying to stab me in the back. Lin Yun, Lin Wanyu, and Lin Wanyu, who were by Lin Li's side, all understood what was going on. On the other hand, Lin Rei looked at Fan Jun calmly. There was not a trace of emotion in his eyes. You have decided? Now that you are a cultivator, your lifespan has exceeded 10,000 years. You should know that in the world of cultivators, as long as you have the strength, you can get any woman you want. Are you sure you want to leave with that person? Lin Li's words weren't false. As a cultivator, power, interest, women, all of it was easily obtainable. However, these words made Lin Wanyu unhappy. She looked at Lin Rei and rolled her eyes. She retorted, Master, you can't say that. If the Shadow Master's wife knew what you were thinking, would you still have this attitude? Lin Rei, Lin Yun looked at Lin Wanyu and gave her a thumbs up. He admired this senior sister of his so much that he would prostrate himself on all fours. Only she dared to say this. Lin Rei was not angry. If it was someone else who said this, it would be a different scene. Since you have decided, then do it. After all, one is the same as two. With that, he waved his hand and dismissed her. Bang, bang, bang. After getting Lin Rei's permission, Fan Jun kowtowed to the ground gratefully. The sound was so loud that it gave Ouyangzhen a headache. After Fan Jun left, Ouyangzhen stood behind Lin Rei, waiting for further instructions. How is Li Jiping? Ouyangzhen, who was already prepared to respond, stepped forward when he heard Lin Rei's question. He told him about Li Jiping's actions. Young master, after Li Jiping ascended the throne, he was a wise ruler. Not only did he clean up the bureaucracy of Hong Tian, he also refreshed the military. Hong Tian has reclaimed the land that Hong Tian once lost. This action is a solid blow to the surrounding countries. Oh. Is that so? He had a good impression of Li Jiping before, but he did not expect the ending to be like this. However, it did not matter. After all, the mission was completed, and the rewards were returned. Now, everything was settled. All that was left was for Fan Jun and the rest to return. In Hong Tian Bay City, after Auntie Meng finished cooking, she returned to the pavilion. Looking at the empty pavilion, she could not help but tear up. He left without waiting for me to go to jail? Thinking about the time she spent with Fan Jun, Auntie Meng regretted it. If she had understood his intentions and agreed to his request, their children would have grown up by now. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. She sat down in the pavilion. Her eyes were empty and tears flowed down uncontrollably. This scene was seen by Fan Jun, who regretted his decision. His heart ached and he hurried forward. Smash it. Who bullied you? The sudden voice pulled Auntie Meng back. She regained her composure and turned her head to look at Fan Jun. She could no longer care about anything else. She took a step forward and threw herself into Fan Jun's arms. Her small face was filled with grievance and tears. It was truly heartbreaking. You bastard, where did you go? I thought you left and would never come back. Bastard, son of a bitch, you old bastard. While muttering, he kept pounding Fan Jun's chest. However, Fan Jun was stunned by Auntie Meng's sudden action. However, he reached out and hugged her tightly with a blissful smile on his face. I went back to beg young master to let you leave with me. I thought you were unwilling. Now, it seems like I was thinking too much. Humph, who said I was going to leave with you? She had already recovered from the sadness just now. She pushed Fan Jun away and turned around with a blush on her face. Oh. If that's the case, forget it, I'd better leave this place. With that, she put on an act and turned around to leave. You bastard, where are you going? After experiencing the sadness of Fan Jun's departure, Auntie Meng turned around and hugged Fan Jun's arm when she heard that he was going to leave again. She looked as though she would not let go even if she died. Haha. Fan Jun laughed. He had never imagined such a scene. At that time, he thought that it was all a dream and that it would never happen. However, it really happened now. Moreover, it was even more perfect than before. He reached out and stroked Auntie Meng's hair. He said dotingly, "All right, I was just joking. Young master promised me that he would bring you with him. When the time comes, you can cultivate too. We will live forever and never be separated." Yes. Auntie Meng buried her head in Fan Jun's arms. Her voice was weak and pitiful. However, Fan Jun heard it very clearly. Ha ha ha, great. Just as the two of them were being lovey-dovey, a laugh came from afar. That's right. The two of you have been through all kinds of hardships before you were reunited. Since that's the case, you must love and support each other in the future. Yes. It's not easy for the two of you to be together. In that case, are we considered matchmakers? Lin Rei and the others had arrived. They looked at the two of them, looked at each other, and laughed. Young master. Fan Jun was shocked when he saw Lin Rei and the others. He quickly took Auntie Meng's hand and bowed in front of Lin Rei and the others. Young master. She looked at Lin Rei. She had seen him before. However, she could not be presumptuous at this moment. She followed Fan Jun and bowed to Lin Rei. Looking at the two of them, Lin Rei nodded. The two of you will cultivate with Ouyang Zhen from now on. Ouyang Zhen, who understood, came in front of the two of them and promised Lin Rei, "Understood, young master. I have taught the two of them well." Chapter 14:24. Relax. I will send the two of you to a place in a while. You will be safe there. Once we reach the place, I will release the two of you. We will listen to you, young master. The two nodded. Seeing that the two of them nodded, the two of them disappeared in front of everyone. No one was surprised by this. After that, he looked at the few of them and communicated with the system telepathically. Come, let's start the teleportation. Ding. Activating the teleportation. Please wait for a moment, ding. Teleportation has begun. Please proceed forward. As soon as the system finished speaking, a circle of light appeared in front of them. Lines of runes slowly appeared and formed a huge and complicated array. Lin Yun and the others were stunned by this scene. This array was too powerful. Although Lin Yun and the others didn't practice arrays, they could tell that this array's strength wasn't inferior to any array they had seen before, including the Shuamo array. Ding! The array has been formed. The teleportation will begin in 30 seconds. Please get ready. F***CK. How could he not panic when he heard that there was a time limit? He raised his hand and threw Lin Yun and the others into the array. Then, he entered the array. Just as he entered the array, another system notification rang out in his ears. Ding! 30 seconds have passed. The array has been activated. The teleportation has begun. F***CK. Are you kidding me? Lin Ray was dumbfounded. It had only been 10 seconds. Where did 30 seconds come from? Ding. Including the time taken to form the array, it will take 30 seconds. So, if the host is late by even a second, the array will break and disappear. Boom. Just as Lin Ray was about to say something, the array was activated. Suddenly, the entire Hong Tian Bay was covered in a blue light. Whoosh! Where Linley was standing, the ground beneath their feet suddenly split apart. A spatial tear appeared, and suddenly, without any warning, they were all knocked into it. Lin Ray was speechless. It's not reliable at all. What is this? He felt that the world was spinning and he hated the system to the core. Just like that, Lin Ray and the rest disappeared from the Nethervoid realm and returned to the Holy World. As for Zhu, I'll just leave him to fend for himself. I'll deal with him once I step foot into the dark sky territory again. In the depths of the eastern sea of the Holy World, it was originally a sunny day with a bright moon and few stars. However, at this moment, a storm suddenly kicked up. Dark clouds covered the entire sky, casting a layer of mystery over the entire eastern sea. Rumble. A bolt of lightning flashed. Within the dark clouds, lightning flashed continuously. Dao fruit was extremely rare. Oh, I didn't expect to attract Tendo's attention just by using a formation. Whoosh. Deep in the sky of the eastern sea, a bright light flashed. Lin Ray's figure rushed out from the light, but when he saw the surrounding scene, a smile appeared on his face. Boom boom. Just as Lin Ray was muttering to himself, the thunder erupted. In an instant, a bolt of lightning rushed out of the thunder clouds and rushed towards Lin Ray. Its speed was so fast that even Lin Ray was stunned. F***CK, that can't be, right? Seeing the incoming lightning bolt, Zhang Xian had no choice but to press it down. Raising his head, he sent out a surge of Saint Spirit Qi to collide with the lightning bolt. Bang! A loud sound rang out, and a burst of battle's aftermath rushed out in all directions. Whoosh! Just as Lin Ray was fighting, Lin Yun and the others came out from the light behind him. When they saw the scene before them, they didn't say anything and directly rushed to Lin Ray's back to help. Ding! Teleportation complete. Rumble. The teleportation formation disappeared, and at the same time, the thunder clouds in the sky seemed to have lost their direction. They became confused until finally, they completely dissipated, as if they had never appeared. F***CK, what the hell is this? Although it was just a small episode, it was really disgusting. Especially this formation, it could actually attract Tendo's attention and even send down lightning punishment. This made her feel even more terrified of the system. System, where are we now? Ding. Scanning, host, please wait. The system was silent. Lin Ray didn't say anything, and quietly waited for the system to give him an answer. Turning around, he looked at the people behind him. We are now in the Holy World, but we don't know the exact location. Be careful, the sea here may not be as calm as it seems on the surface. Yes, Father, Master. Yes, young Master. But I don't know how Lu Shusheng is doing now. We agreed to go together, but I didn't expect this to happen. But, now that my cultivation has reached the Earth Sage realm, I don't need that energy source anymore. Thinking of his daughter, Lin Ray became anxious. Thinking about it, it should be about time. I wonder how Xian is doing. Ding. Scanning complete. Ding. Host is now in the depths of the East Sea. Huh? The East Sea? Lin Ray didn't expect that after going around in circles, he would still end up in this place. But it was good. Now that he knew where he was, he had a direction. Let's go. Calling out to the people behind him, he turned around and looked for a direction. Releasing his cultivation, he instantly shot up into the sky. The East Sea stretched out, surrounding Penglai Island. In the depths of the East Sea, there should be no one around. But now, it was different. At this moment, tens of thousands of cultivators surrounded Penglai Island. Each of them looked at Penglai Island with burning eyes, as if there were great benefits waiting for them on Penglai Island. Among the tens of thousands of cultivators, a young man with a scholarly appearance looked around as if he was looking for something. Ruo Lin Rei was here. When he saw this young man, he would recognize him. Isn't this the scholar that he couldn't get rid of even if he wanted to? It seems like there really isn't anything. I wonder what happened to Lin Rei back then. He recalled that Lin Rei had asked him to leave first and wait for him to return. However, the place had returned to peace and was still fighting. Other than the remnants of Lin Rei's spiritual energy in the air, everything else had returned to normal. There was nothing out of the ordinary. "Hey, scholar, what are you doing?" A clear and ethereal voice like that of an oriole came from behind. Instantly, the scholar who was looking for Lin Rei froze on the spot. With his back facing her, his expression changed. Damn, why is this demoness here? Fang Yunyao, the leader of the Thousand Devils Sect, was at the peak of the Earth Saint realm. Her demonic skills were unfathomable and unpredictable. However, it was quite a coincidence. 1,000 years ago, the scholar had accidentally seen Fang Yunyao bathing and had been chased by her for hundreds of years. In the end, because of a heavenly treasure, the two of them had turned hostility into friendship. However, because of this, the scholar had developed a fear of Fang Yunyao. From then on, as long as Fang Yunyao was around, he would hide far, far away. But he didn't expect that Fang Yunyao would come to such a place. "Hey, why aren't you talking? Do you want me to speak for you?" Fang Yunyao stepped forward and stood in front of Lu Shusheng. She raised her hand and was about to attack. This scene caused the scholar to come back to his senses. He subconsciously took a step back and responded. Sweat dripped from his forehead as if it was free. "That. Sister Yao Yao, it's like this. I came with a friend. I didn't expect to meet a sea demon on the way. In the end, I was separated from my friend. How about this, Sister Yao Yao, you do what you need to do. I will go find my friend first. When I have time, I will call you." Then, he turned around and wanted to leave this troublesome place. Oh, just as the scholar turned around, Fang Yunyao's voice entered his ears. "If that's the case, then I will be kind and accompany you. After all, you are so weak. If you don't have my protection, who knows what will happen to you?" "Scholar, damn it, you can't hide anymore." Fang Yunyao's attitude showed that she wanted to waste some time with him. But, he couldn't do anything about it. He couldn't win against her. Her cultivation level was obvious. Moreover, she was from a powerful sect. He was alone. Who knew what she would do if he made her anxious? As he thought about it, a smile suddenly appeared on his face. He turned around and looked at Fang Yunyao. At this moment, the scholar had an extremely happy expression on his face. Since Big Sis Yao Yao is so kind, how could I, the scholar, refuse to give Big Sis Yao Yao face? "Humph, you want to fight with me? You are still too young." Seeing the scholar's fake smile, Fang Yunyao snorted coldly in her heart. She walked up to the scholar and waited quietly. Wang. Originally, he wanted to take Fang Yunyao around and get rid of her. But, just as he was about to take action, the jade pendant that he had been looking at for a long time lit up. "This is Lin Rei?" While he was stunned, he took out the jade pendant. Looking at the shiny jade pendant, he smiled. Originally, he thought that Lin Rei was dead. He didn't feel sad and guilty. Now, seeing the jade pendant lit up again, the guilt in his heart disappeared instantly. Lin Rei, where are you? The competition in Penglai is about to start. Why aren't you here yet? Far away in the East Sea, Lin Rei was about to leave the East Sea and return to the mainland to find his daughter. Suddenly, the jade pendant in his chest vibrated, interrupting his thoughts. Lu Shusheng. Lin Rei had a headache about the jade pendant in his chest. Thinking of Lu Shusheng's mouth, his head hurt. Lin Rei, where are you? The competition in Penglai is about to start. Why aren't you here yet? After activating the jade pendant, Lin Rei heard Lu Shusheng's voice from the jade pendant. This guy still hasn't changed. He is still as talkative as before. Ouyang smiled bitterly when he heard Lu Shusheng's voice. Father, this is... Lin Yun opened his mouth. Suddenly, everyone's eyes focused on Lin Li, as if they were waiting for his answer. A talkative guy. Yes, a powerful talkative guy. Thinking of Lu Shusheng's cultivation, Lin Rei emphasized. Talkative guy? Lin Yun didn't understand. He looked at Ouyang Zheng. He knew that Ouyang Zheng must know. Ouyang Zheng naturally knew Lin Yun's identity. Seeing the look in Lin Yun's eyes, Ouyang Zheng started to tell Lin Yun everything about Lu Shusheng. Lin Yun and the others listened attentively. On the other hand, Lin Rei was pondering if he should respond to Lu Shusheng. After all, Lu Shusheng's mouth annoyed him. Just like that, this guy became our companion. He came here to look for Penglai Island. Unexpectedly, he encountered a powerful demonic beast and fell into the empty nether realm. As for what happened after that, you all know. Hearing this, Lin Yun couldn't help but sigh. This was called experience, and he seemed to have never had such an experience. Forget it, I'll just reply. Lin Rei didn't notice Lin Yun's words. Finally, he made a decision in his heart. He activated the jade pendant and said, I'm in the depths of the Eastern Sea. I don't know where exactly. As for Penglai, I don't intend to, Wang. Lin Rei, come quickly. I heard that there's a prehistoric ruin this time. Also, I heard that there are many good things inside. The voice sounded again. For a moment, Lin Rei, who didn't intend to go, was tempted. The current him was poor. He didn't have anything. Moreover, the disciples of the sect had to improve in all aspects. Okay, where is it? Tell me, I'll go now. In the end, Lin Rei decided to go. Outside Penglai, a strange smile appeared on Lin Rei's face when he heard his reply. I knew that you liked this kind of thing. If Ruo Lin Rei was here, he would definitely find a brick and throw it at him. I'm in the easternmost area. You just need to fly there. Release your spiritual sense while you're at it. I'll sense where you are. After saying that, his spiritual sense covered a radius of 1,000,000 miles. Although the location obtained wasn't accurate, it was still traceable. He put away the jade pendant and looked at Ouyang Zhen and the others. Let's go to Penglai. There are ruins there. Alright, take this opportunity and treat it as a form of training for all of you. Yes. Everyone nodded in agreement. Then, they followed Lin Li towards the east. Their speed was so fast that in the blink of an eye, they disappeared into the horizon. How was it? Did you find your friend? Are you alright? Fang Yunyao interrupted when she saw the smile on Shu Yu's face. Yeah, I'm fine. It won't be long before he comes. At that time, maybe the good things here will be mine, ours. As he spoke, he seemed to be imagining himself obtaining all the heavenly treasures here. Saliva flowed out from the corner of his mouth. TSK. Lu Shusheng looked like he deserved a beating. Fang Yunyao rolled her eyes and turned away, ignoring him. Time passed little by little. The seal around Penglai Island was getting weaker and weaker. The surrounding cultivators were getting restless. However, senior brother Lin Rei didn't appear. This made Lu Shusheng anxious. F***CK, this guy won't stand me up, right? Thinking of Lin Rei's performance before, it was very possible. Wang. As the saying goes, don't talk about it. Whatever you talk about, it will happen. As he spoke, the jade pendant in his pocket vibrated. Shu Yu, I can sense your spiritual sense. Strengthen your spiritual sense and let me sense where you are. As soon as these words were spoken, the scholar didn't say anything else. He increased the output of his divine sense once more. The gazes of all the cultivators around Penglai all focused on the scholar. Hee, you're going to be unlucky. Chapter 1425. At this moment, an old man walked over from afar. He looked at the scholar and snorted, Junior, have you forgotten the rules of cultivation? Judging from his aura, the old man was at least at the peak of the Earth Sage realm. His aura was strange and the scholar could not figure him out. Coupled with the stares of the crowd, the scholar did not dare to do anything to the old man. In the end, he bowed apologetically to the crowd and said, I'm sorry about my cultivation. My friend needs my divine sense to find me. Please forgive me if I offended you in any way. Hearing this, the crowd frowned. They thought that there would be a good show. They did not expect the scholar to be like this. Seeing how sincere he was, the crowd did not have any evidence against him. Even the old man could not help but sigh when he heard this. Junior, I hope that this will not happen again. Otherwise, I will make sure you die a horrible death. Humph. With a cold snort, he turned and left, no longer paying any attention to Linley. At this moment, when the scholar thought of Linley, he prayed in his heart that Linley would not copy him and use his powerful divine sense to scan everyone present. Otherwise, As the old saying goes, whatever you want will come true. Just as Lu Shuxing did not want Lin Rei to be like him, the thing that he did not want to see, still happened. Right at the instant that the old man turned around, an enormous strand of divine sense swept through everyone, and in the end, it descended onto Lu Shuxing. There was no weakling in the crowd. Soon, the crowd realized that this was their friend. However, they had just warned the scholar. Now that he appeared again, it was unforgivable. With that thought in mind, the first person to bear the brunt of the attack was naturally the old man. His cultivation of Earth Saint Realm Pinnacle was instantly unleashed, and a huge amount of blood and chi energy surged out from his body. If one had to describe how he looked like, it would be more accurate to say that he looked like a little calf in heat. Maybe this little calf is a little old. This person dares to ignore us. This time, I will teach you a lesson and let you know that there is always someone better than you. With that, he walked to the front of the crowd and locked his gaze in the direction of Lin Rei. It was as if he was waiting for Lin Rei to appear so that he could make a move. Of course, Lin Rei was unaware of all this. After finding the scholar, he focused all his divine sense on him. As for the others, he did not care about them at all. He led Lin Yun and the rest and flew quickly. Finally, a few figures appeared in front of the crowd. At this moment, Lin Rei also saw the scholar who was standing beside the crowd. I've finally found you. Looking at the scholar's figure, Lin Rei's lips curled up. Senior, why do I feel that the atmosphere is a little different? Lin Yun, who was following behind Linley, looked at the gazes of the people in front of him and seemed to have sensed something different. Hearing Lin Yun's words, he raised his head and looked in the direction of the crowd. For a moment, he had the same thought as he did in Jinyun County. It seems a little different. Should I inform Master? While he was thinking, Lin Rei's voice suddenly rang in his ears. Be careful later. If a battle breaks out, Shui Mao, you must protect Yuner and Yuer. Yes, young master. After receiving his order, Shui Mao intentionally walked to the side of Lin Yun and Yuer. His cultivation seeped out and enveloped Lin Yun and Yuer. As for Ouyang Zhen, naturally, he could not rely on others to protect him. Of course, for safety's sake, he still went to Shui Mao's side. With his cultivation, it would be a waste not to use it. After giving out the instructions, Lin Ray did not care about anything else. Finally, the crowd arrived in front of the crowd. Just as they thought, when they arrived in front of the crowd to look for the scholar, the old man who had caused trouble for the scholar walked out from the crowd. He looked at Lin Ray with disdain. "Brat, your actions just now have offended everyone here. So, I'll give you a chance. Kill yourself. This way, the people behind you will have a chance to live. Otherwise." As he spoke, a ruthless glint flashed across his eyes. Killing intent shot out from his body. It was as if Lin Ray did not do as he said, Lin Yun and the others behind him would all die. Ha! Lin Li didn't want to say anything to this old man who had suddenly appeared. However, what the old man didn't know was that while he was intentionally or unintentionally trying to show off, he had revealed Lin Li's reverse scale. The reverse scale of a dragon would kill anyone who touched it. As for the old man, he was undoubtedly on the death list in Lin Ray's heart at this moment. He turned his head and looked at Shui Mao. "Protect them well. Otherwise, you can forget about living." Although Shui Mao was a heavenly saint, his voice was cold. He was also shocked by Lin Ray's words. He nodded his head stiffly and asked Lin Ray to get down from the square. In the distance, the scholar saw that the situation was not good. He quickly went to Lin Ray's side. Just as he was about to greet him, he was stopped by Lin Ray. "I say, Lin Ray. Let's talk later. Let me clean up this piece of trash first. Then, we can catch up." Trash? F***ck, this guy is awesome. He actually dared to call a cultivator at the peak of the Earth Sage realm trash. Who is this guy? Isn't he too showy? Yeah, trash. This is too F***king awesome. Even if this young man loses in the end, just this act of acting tough is enough to make everyone remember him. The discussion of the crowd fell into the old man's ears. The murderous intent in his heart suddenly surged. He stared at Lin Ray coldly as if Lin Ray was already a dead man. "Humph. Aunt, you only know how to talk big. In front of true power, you are nothing." Whoosh. After saying that, the old man's figure shot out. He was still in the distance a moment ago. In the next moment, he appeared in front of Lin Ray. "Humph, dog-like thing, you dare to spout nonsense in front of this old man? Now, this old man will let you know what death is." As he spoke, he raised his hand and clenched it into a fist. His holy earth spirit wrapped around his fist, and he smashed it towards Lin Li's face. At this moment, the old man mobilized all his strength. It was as if he would not stop until he killed Lin Ray. Off in the distance, the scholar couldn't hold himself back any longer. He moved, intending to block the punch. "Stop. You are not qualified to participate in the young master's battle." The sudden voice caused the scholar and Fang Yunyao to be stunned. What was going on? The two of them looked at each other in confusion. Was the old man talking to them? However, Lin Ray's life was at stake. The scholar did not care too much and wanted to step forward. Boom! However, just as Xu Shang stepped forward and was about to help, a terrifying force that Xu Shang was unable to resist instantly charged out and landed on Xu Shang and Fang Yunyao's bodies, enveloping them within. "I already said that the young master has to fight. The two of you are not qualified to participate. So, behave yourselves. Otherwise..." Boom! The pressure increased again. Suddenly, the two of them felt as if their hearts had been hammered by something. Their bodies froze on the spot. They were powerless and could not move. This scene happened too suddenly. So Lin Yun and the others did not know what happened to the scholar and Fang Yunyao. On the other side, Lin Ray was not fearful of the incoming fist. On the contrary, a smile appeared on his face. "I've only broken through and fought with Death Realm creatures. I haven't fought with a real cultivator yet. I'll take this opportunity to see where my limit is. As he spoke, he lifted his head to look at the old man who was charging at him. Narrowing his eyes, his cultivation surged out, and his Earth Saint primary stage cultivation surged out. Even though he had appeared, his aura was not any weaker than the old man's. What? It happened so suddenly that the old man did not expect that a young fellow like him would have such a terrifying cultivation. He wanted to stop, but it was too late. How could he withdraw his sword when it was unsheathed? Let's see how strong your cultivation is. He raised his hand and clenched it into a fist as well. He met the old man's fist head-on. Bang! The moment the two fists collided, the aftermath of the battle rushed out. With the two of them as the center, it spread out in all directions. Thump! Thump! In everyone's line of sight, a figure quickly retreated. Because of the aftershock, no one was able to see clearly at the first moment. However, under Shui Mao's protection, Lin Yun and the scholar in Fang Yunyao could see it clearly. Damn, when did Lin Rei become so terrifying? This cultivation, this power, this handsomeness, it really makes me. No, it really makes all the girls in the world fall head over heels for him. As he spoke, he was the one who started drooling. You bastard, what are you thinking about? Fang Yunyao, who was on the side, seemed to be unwilling. She threw a punch at the scholar. Although their cultivation was suppressed by the array, Fang Yunyao's physical body was very strong. The moment the fist collided with Lu Shusheng's body, the latter was instantly sent flying. He only managed to stop 1,000 meters away. In the distance, when the battle between Lin Rei and the others was discovered, everyone sighed in their hearts. This kind of battle rarely happened. Moreover, it was a matter of a weak cultivator forcing a strong cultivator to retreat. At the very least, from now on, the old man's reputation would most likely be destroyed. Even the faction that the old man belonged to would be implicated because of this. TSK, not bad. Lin Rei didn't care about the gazes and discussions of the surrounding people. Looking at the old man who retreated, a look of pity appeared in his eyes. Looking at his fist, he muttered, 30% of my strength was enough to force that old man back. If I used my full strength, would I be able to kill that old man? Ding! Host, you're dreaming. But to be honest, you can do what you want. But remember, only this person can do it. If you encounter other cultivators, remember not to lower your guard. The sudden notification from the system stunned Lin Rei. Although he didn't understand, he still nodded in agreement. Although this old man's cultivation is solid, it's only the first half. The second half seems to have used some method to increase his cultivation quickly. He forcefully increased his cultivation to this level. So, remember, don't lower your guard in the future. Originally, he still had some doubts, but now, it all made sense. After all, how strong could a person whose foundation was not even stable be? Okay, I got it. Oh, by the way, you have to hurry up. The array here is about to be activated. So, time waits for no man. Okay, I got it. I'll deal with it immediately. The system notified him. Lin Rei naturally wouldn't play Tai Chi with the old man. He took a step forward and instantly appeared in front of the old man. You shouldn't have used the lives of my family members to threaten me. So, be prepared. Looking at Linley, the old man was terrified. If he hadn't been so pretentious earlier, he wouldn't have ended up in this situation. If he had to blame someone, he could only blame himself for being too greedy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have ended up in this territory. Sky. Demon Slash. It was a cultivation method that hadn't been used for a long time. It was a cultivation method of the demon race. It could cut off one's soul and make one suffer inhumane torture before death. He thought he would never use it again. Unexpectedly, there was no class today and this old man broke it. Activating the demonic slash, the originally clear sky was instantly enveloped by darkness. At this moment, Linley's body was no longer surrounded by holy spiritual aura. Instead, it was filled with a suffocating demonic aura. It was a corrosive, soul-shaking aura that caused everyone to tremble. F***CK, demon chi. Yes, demon chi. It's something of the demon race. This man actually used something of the demon race. I'm on the righteous path. How dare he use such an evil existence? This man should be killed. The righteous path. How dare he use such a thing just to increase his cultivation? For a moment, rumors and discussions were flying all over the place. In an instant, everything was covered up. The old man standing in front of Lin Ray heard the discussions around him. For a moment, a trace of hope appeared in his heart. Cultivation, we are on the righteous path. We exist to eliminate the demon race. Now, the demon race is in front of us. What are you waiting for? Even though everyone knew that the old man wanted to live, what he said made sense. For a moment, the situation changed. The scholar and the others had an extremely ugly expression on their faces. Are you all courting death? How dare you speak to my young master like that? Just when everyone thought that the situation was going to change, something unexpected happened. In the sky, a pressure that shocked them appeared. What's going on? Why? This pressure. Heavenly saint? Yes, it's a heavenly saint. Only a heavenly saint can suppress us. But why would a heavenly saint appear in this world? Something's not right. Just now, that voice said young master. His young master, could it be? Hearing someone's reminder, everyone's eyes suddenly focused on Linley. Not far behind Linley, the blood-haired man coldly swept his gaze over everyone present. The pressure was coming from that direction. Heavenly saint? Where did this young man come from? He actually wants a heavenly saint to protect him. Moreover, from what he said, he seems to be a subordinate. For a moment, everyone understood. But they were confused. Is the world in chaos? Why did a heavenly saint become someone else's subordinate? Are heavenly saints so worthless now? For a moment, all kinds of doubts appeared in everyone's mind. However, Lin Ray had no need to answer these questions. Now, it's time for you to die. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. Pfft. The sound of flesh being cut was heard. Following that, Lin Ray's voice sounded. Remember this. Those who touch my reverse scale will be killed without mercy. Chapter 1426. This was both a warning and a threat. This was Lin Ray's way of doing things. He scanned the crowd coldly and snorted. With a wave of his hand, the illusory spirit blood fire rushed to the old man's body. In an instant, an earth sage died. Swoosh! A space ring flew into Lin Ray's hand. He released his divine sense and broke through the old man's seal. Wow! Inside the space ring, Lin Ray looked at the mountain of treasures and clicked his tongue. This guy. Did he rob some top sect? There were mountains of Saint Spirit crystals. Based on initial calculations, there should be at least 100 million Saint Spirit crystals. Not to mention the Saint Spirit crystals, from spiritual herbs to magical weapons, there was everything here. Those who didn't know would think that this was the entire fortune of 100 million Saint Spirits. Cloud Ascendant Grass, Emperor's Soul Jade? I was looking for something that could restore the soul. Looks like I don't have to anymore. Looking at the Emperor's Soul Jade in his hand, a gentle light flashed in his eyes. With a thought, he entered the system space. System, can this Emperor's Soul Jade restore the soul of the little dragon? This was what he wanted to know the most. Back then, the little dragon fell into a deep slumber because of him. Now that he had found such a treasure, his only hope was to revive the little dragon. Ding! Yes. Emperor's Soul Jade, 9th grade Saint Spirit Treasure. It is the best treasure for restoring souls. It is most effective for souls like the little dragon who are in a deep slumber due to external forces. Really? Hearing the system's words, Lin Ray was excited. Thinking that the little dragon would be able to recover soon, Lin Ray was thrilled. Yes, really. But, he was excited at first, but when he heard the systems, his excitement cooled down. Don't worry. Oh, host, don't get too excited. What I mean is that the Emperor's Soul Jade has been found. However, it will take a long time for Xiaolong to recover. So, host, please wait for Xiaolong to return. Phew, exhaling a long breath, his tense body instantly relaxed. You rascal, next time, can you finish your sentence in one go? I rolled my eyes as I spoke. I no longer felt conflicted about what happened just now. As long as the little dragon woke up, everything would be fine. But then again, he still had to thank the dead idiot. If not for him, the little dragon would not have been able to wake up so quickly. He exited the system space and looked at the resources in front of him. The corners of his mouth rose, and a smile appeared on his face. This trip was not in vain. Even without the ancient ruins of Penglai, these things are enough for the Xuanzong sect to cultivate for a period of time. With a thought, he left the system space and turned around, ignoring everyone's fearful gazes as he took a step forward, crossing a kilometer in one step. Looking at the scholar who was frozen in place, he signaled Shui Mao with his eyes. Suddenly, the pressure on the scholar disappeared. Oh my God. Feeling his body recover, the scholar looked at Lin Ray with a complicated expression. He might have been able to travel with Lin Ray with his cultivation before, but now that a heaven saint had appeared in the other side's camp, a small earth saint cultivator like him would not be of much use. My subordinate is insensible, don't mind him. Lin Ray's voice entered the scholar's ears. Suddenly, the scholar's body trembled and he smiled bitterly. Don't say that. But, can you remove the pressure on her body? She is with me. He pointed at Fang Yunyao and looked at her pleadingly. Lin Ray nodded, and Shui Mao naturally did as he was told. What's wrong with you? We are in the same group, aren't you? You're going too far. Fang Yunyao suddenly reprimanded him. The scholar, Lin Ray. Everyone, Lin Ray was confused by the sudden reprimand. What's going on? I'm the one who let you regain your freedom. It's fine if you don't thank me, but what's the meaning of this? He looked at the book in confusion, as if he was asking who this person was. Fang Yunyao, the sect leader of the Thousand Devils sect, Peak Earth Saint Cultivation, brainless woman, don't mind her. Scholar, are you crazy? Who are you calling brainless? After hearing the scholar's words, Fang Yunyao was unhappy. On the other hand, Lin Ray nodded indifferently. Since they knew each other, it was fine. After all, she was a beautiful woman. Apart from threatening his family, everything else could be forgiven. Returning to the main topic, Linley shook his head speechlessly as he watched the two of them bicker. Waving his hand, he interrupted the two of them. You two, stop flirting. Let's talk about the situation here first. Lin Ray's words seemed to have stepped on Fang Yunyao's little tail. She said angrily, Who's flirting? Can't you see that I'm teaching him a lesson? Although she said that, her body was honest. As soon as she finished speaking, she took a step back and stopped touching him. She stood aside obediently and waited. Hee. Looking at Lin Ray, the scholar smiled awkwardly and elegantly. Then, his face turned serious. Penglai Island is just ahead. The flood dragon lives there. However, I didn't expect that there would be a restriction here. I'm sure you've already felt it. Looking at the place the scholar was pointing at, he nodded. That's right. I did feel the restriction here. Moreover, this restriction is from ancient times. It's very powerful and mysterious. Even I don't have much confidence in breaking it. So, what do you plan to do next? He didn't know the source of the scholar's information. However, he believed the scholar's information. He also believed that the scholar had collected some useful information during this period of time. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been here all this time. Indeed, after hearing Lin Rei's words, the scholar proudly puffed out his chest. Of course. Nothing in this yellow world can hide from me. Get to the point. The scholar couldn't stand it anymore. He rolled his eyes and urged. The scholar, he glared at Fang Yunyao and coughed lightly. He said seriously, during the Desolation Era, the Kuan Peng lived here. It said that the Kuan Peng left behind some abnormalities and his inheritance. Of course, these are all rumors. No one knows the details. However, one thing is certain. The restriction here has the shadow of the Kuan Peng's heart and the cosmic cycle stellar formation. After he said that, Lin Rei and the others' faces changed. The Kuan Peng, what kind of existence was that? Everyone here should know. It was said that there was a fish in the northern underworld called the Kuan. The Kuan Peng was thousands of miles long. Moreover, the Kuan Peng of the Desolation Era was called the Demon Master by the demon race. One could imagine its status. Sigh. Looking at the barrier outside Penglai, Lin Rei sighed. If that was the case, it wouldn't be easy to enter. Young master. Just as Lin Rei was worried, a weak voice came from the side. In an instant, the voice attracted everyone's attention. His gaze fell upon Shuemo. As he stared at Shuemo, suddenly, Linley's eyes flashed with a bright light. That's right. Shuemao, you're from the Shura clan and your inheritance is from the Desolation Era. At that time, Guopeng was still around. You should know something. At this moment, Lin Rei seemed to have grasped hope. The Shura clan and the Kuan Peng were both from the Desolation Era. At this moment, Lin Rei placed all his hopes on Shuemao. That, feeling everyone's gaze, Shuemao said, Young master, you're right. But there's one thing you're right about. The Kuan Peng used to be here for a period of time. But it wasn't for cultivation. It was because the primordial spiritual treasure was born along the way when the untainted land was opened. As for this array, although it has some traces of the Kuan Peng, it seems to be more like the Dragon Clan's forbidden spell. Hearing Shuemao's words, everyone was interested. They stared at Shuemao more seriously as if it was a great sin for him to stop at this moment. Is there a way to break it? Yes, but it will take time. Okay, I'll leave it to you. As for time, we don't lack time. So, don't worry. Having obtained Linley's approval, Shuemao naturally had nothing to fear. However, he did not know that it was not impossible for Linley to break the formation. It was just that this method would require him to pay a high price. He was just a little unwilling to do so. Okay, since that's the case, then. Say. Senior, I'll leave it to you. Seeing that the matter was settled, the scholar bowed and requested with a smile. The matter of the array had come to an end. On the other hand, Fang Yunyao, who had been silent all this time, stepped forward and appeared in front of Lin Rei. Looking at Lin Rei, she raised her head and blocked Lin Rei's path. Her clear eyes scanned Lin Rei's body as if she wanted to see through Lin Rei. The scholar originally wanted to stop Fang Yunyao. However, when he thought of how terrifying she was, this thought disappeared. You were using the Demon Clan's technique. You and the Demon Clan. Fang Yunyao asked with a smile. However, no one present was a weakling. Even though her voice was as soft as it could be, everyone around her could hear her very clearly. On the side, the scholar's face changed. She had touched a sore spot. He had already made up his mind about this woman's stupidity. Everyone's gazes focused on Lin Rei. It was originally a good thing, but it ended up like this. Lin Rei didn't care about everyone's gazes. He looked at Fang Yunyao and smiled. The demonic cultivation technique you mentioned doesn't exist. As for why I have demonic aura, I can only tell you that everyone has their own secrets. As for the rest, I can't tell you. After saying that, he turned around and called out to Lin Yun and the others before leaving the place. Damn, they finally left. If they didn't leave, I wouldn't have been able to stand. Hey, did you hear? That person said that he didn't cultivate a demonic cultivation technique. You even believe that? If I kill you and tell others that you came here on your own accord, who do you think will believe me? That's right, you're too naive. For a time, the discussions were in full swing. However, on the other side, Lin Rei led everyone to the island closest to Penglai. As for Shui Mao, he was mercilessly abandoned by Lin Rei, allowing Shui Mao to stay here and break the restrictions. Oh my god, why did I say that I know how to break the restrictions? Looking at everyone here and thinking of Lin Rei's departing back, Shui Mao couldn't help but bitterly smile. After which, he came to the front of the restrictions and started working hard. In the Holy World, in the Yellow Region, where the inner disciples of the Heavenly Yuan Sect stayed, in a luxurious courtyard, Lin Xian'er sat in a pavilion with her hands supporting her chin as she stared ahead in a daze. Beside her, there was a little girl who blinked her beautiful eyes, looking extremely adorable. Elder sister, what are you thinking about? Why aren't you playing with little Ya? The little girl looked at Lin Xian'er and pouted unhappily. Elder sister? Elder sister? Seeing that Lin Xian'er didn't reply, little Ya called out twice more. Finally, Lin Xian'er regained her senses. What did you say earlier? Staring at little Ya, Lin Xian'er asked in bewilderment. Elder sister, what's wrong with you? During this period of time, you are always in a daze. Why aren't you playing with little Ya? Little Ya repeated. Seeing the little girl pouting unhappily, Lin Xian'er bitterly smiled. She stretched out her hand and rubbed the little girl's head as she smiled. Elder sister is thinking about elder sister's father. Father? Where is elder sister's father? The little girl tilted her head with a puzzled look on her face. Him. As she spoke, she turned her gaze to the horizon. Her expression was downcast as she continued, he is in a place very far away, maybe in this world, or maybe. Thinking of her father, Lin Xian'er felt somewhat unhappy. Back then, he had said that he would return very soon. But now, such a long time had passed and there was no news of him at all. Even when the Heaven Yuan Sect sent people to search for him, there was no news at all. This caused Lin Xian'er to be extremely disappointed. Naturally, with regards to Lin Rei's safety, she wasn't worried at all. After all, in her heart, Lin Rei was an invincible existence. No matter when, he would always appear with invincibility, resolving all their problems and difficulties. Elder sister, don't be sad. Little Ya will accompany you. After speaking, little Ya stood up and hugged Lin Xian'er, consoling her. To little Ya, Lin Xian'er smiled. However, the disappointment in her eyes couldn't be concealed. If Ruo Lin was here, he would definitely feel extremely guilty. Father, where are you exactly? Why aren't you back yet? Xian'er misses you. Lin Rei, who was far away in the Eastern Sea, had no idea what Lin Xian'er was thinking. However, he had always been in a state of worry with regards to Lin Xian'er. After all, Lin Xian'er's abnormal state made him have no choice but to hurry. He didn't want to see his daughter in pain. Father. Lin Yun came before Lin Rei. Upon seeing the worry in Lin Rei's eyes, he subconsciously realized something. Xian'er's condition hasn't recovered yet? As the sound of his voice faded, Lin Rei lifted his head and looked at Lin Yun as he bitterly smiled. Not yet. However, this time around, I will completely cure her condition. You don't have to worry. As for you, your cultivation has risen too quickly during this period of time. Hence, for the next period of time, don't increase your strength anymore. Focus on tempering yourself, understand? You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.